Ladies and gentlemen, happy Monday. Welcome to the Die Hard MMA podcast, UFC Vegas 114 edition. We are coming off UFC 326, the most disappointing BMF fight there's ever been in the UFC. And I got whooped, you guys. I am not happy about last week's event. I thought I had that one dead to rights, guys. Especially the whole Drew Dober situation. Being my dog of the week on Monday and then having fight fix level line crashes going into the fight at the end of the week. I felt really good about my card. And then I backed the wrong horse. I got the fraud check, right? Luke Fernandez. I thought he was the short, the new guy favorite that you could trust. We had back-to-back dogs to open up the card. Everybody's parlays are busted. You know what? We'll talk about all this in a second, but it was a very, very confusing event last week. Welcome into the chat. What's up, everybody? My guy Dream in the house saying he'll have to catch the replay. Appreciate you dipping in for the comment to get the show started, my friend, as always. The Real Kool-Aid, what is going on? We have got Pablo, we've got the Grateful Dude, we've got Kurtz, we got Jack, we've got Dixon Cider, Team Universal, BJJ, Louis Mac Jr., Oldie. What's going on, everybody? Asia Explore, what is up, everybody? Thank you all for being here. Do me a favor, hit that like button, get subscribed if you guys haven't. We do this in and out every single week. And guys, I'm in a good mood, okay? I know I got shelled this past week when it comes to my picks and stuff like that for the UFC, but today was the first day of off season for the NFL, and I've got like a high stakes dynasty league that I play in. Everything is going perfect. I've never had this happen before. I've been playing dynasty football now for like 6-7 years, and it's never happened where everything breaks your way for the guys on your squad. It's just, it's been fantastic. So good news on the timeline all day for me today. I'm bringing home that ring this year. This is my season. I'm telling you, it's happening. But this is not my fantasy football podcast. This is my MMA podcast. So let's talk about UFC Vegas 114, but we got to recap the week that was, and I want to go ahead and do that with our friend, one of my favorite guests. He just disappeared. I'm queuing the man up. There's like this backstage platform. If you guys have never used this, there's like a little bar down at the bottom so you can like click people and faces and photos to like get them in. And I'm like ready to hammer my guy to bring him in live on the show. Right as I'm queuing him up, boop, he just disappears. I'm bringing in my guy, Brandon Olivas. What's going on, Brandon? How you doing? I can't hear you now. Whatever you did, you ruined it. Nope, I can't hear you. Guys, we got into the show like 10 minutes early. We jumped on so that we could make sure there were no audio issues, make sure there were no technical difficulties. We're professionals. We make sure it's good and ready to go. Brandon broke it. I don't know what he did.
I don't know what happened.
There
I joined the lobby. I can't hear you all of a sudden. It starts freaking out. Now I'm back. Let's get this
Dude, one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I have no idea. Technology. Gotta love it. Something broke. Can't explain it. How you doing,
going
man?
On and on about how efficient we are, and then, of course, I'm gone.
Yeah.
All right.
Gotta let them know we're professionals over here.
Man, how you been? You got the money hat going on. This is going to be a good week and a lot of close lines, a lot of close fights.
I'm doing good. You know, the only money I've got is what's on the hat. Should be a fun night of fights for us to talk through. I actually low-key love this card. This is one of those greasy banger type cards, I feel like, where it looks bad on paper, but it ends up delivering. So I think
Always.
we'll have
and
fun
last
with this
week
one.
Was the complete opposite, where I look at that and go, wow, what a card. And then it just was awful.
I know, right? How'd you end up doing? Results last week wise?
Not the best. I think it was a lot of weird stuff. Charles Oliveira was good at the end. Xiao Long, I thought, was a crazy, horrible fight. I mean, how do you give that to Cody? I mean, you're winning a fight running for 15
double
minutes.
Point deductions?
And
like,
the first one I thought was, listen, there's been a lot of kick in the nuts. I've gotten kicked in the nuts every single time I've ever trained. For the first one to get a point off and then immediately a second one, it's like, come on. The main event, just each one was really, really underwhelming, I thought, each fight.
It was really rough. And I'm with you. I thought the first point deduction for the nut shot, it makes perfect sense. He like grazed him on that next one that they took the second point for.
And Cody wasn't even hurt. That's the issue. Is Cody was fine and talking shit, and then he's getting a point off.
Yeah. And then in my opinion, it was 30-27. I don't even know what round Cody won. Like, I still thought he should have lost the fight, even with 2 points being deducted.
You know, I'm never gonna get a good rap because I always go for the Chinese fighters, especially now that all my friends are in China. One of my good friends, Cade Cox, he actually went with Xiaolong. I think he was in his corner because he's the wrestling coach at the PI in Shanghai. So he tells me, oh, these guys look amazing. They never get tired. They're so good. And I'm like, sold. Over Cody, who's old, no problem. And then, of course, everything that goes wrong can go wrong.
Dude, I said people who cashed that ticket, that had to feel better than sex. Like, I've never cashed a ticket that was so dead on arrival. Don't get me wrong, I've hit a draw before, right? Like, I've gotten bailed out on a ticket where I got my money back, where the fight got called for some illegal shit. I've never won a ticket where it was like, no, you're absolutely dead going into the end of that fight. Makes no sense.
Can I tell you one crazy story?
Yeah.
So the night that I won the $1 million, okay, everything was stacked up, all these crazy parlays, all this stuff. One fight that I really, really needed was this one guy by knockout. His name's Ryan Reber. He still fights in the bare knuckle and BKFC. And he's going against a guy who's never won a fight, like has lost every single fight, but I need him to win by knockout. Now, Jack Shady Grady, he's coming on. He's putting up the fight of his life. He's clearly got on some cycles, like he's all steroided up. And the fight's not going the way that I need it to go. And this is like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line. The guy ends up committing so many fouls, and I'm sitting here praying, like, please, this will change my life. This will change my life. Please. The guy commits so many fouls that imagine if Dana White, mid-fight, gets into the cage and starts getting on top of a guy full mount, just beating his ass. And then the guy that he beats up gets disqualified. That's what happened. That's why I won the $1 million, is because
wow,
jumps into the ring, grabs Shady Grady, throws him on the ground, and starts punching him. They DQ him. I win by knockout. $1 million later, baby.
Dude, talk about running good. I've never experienced run good like that in my life. That's insane.
Well, for every run good story, there's 5 million ran bad stories. Trust me.
Naturally.
There's way more.
Naturally. Of course, as with all of us. Shout out my guy Owen tuning in saying, is it Lemos versus Robertson? Is Emmett versus Vallejos canceled? No, it's just Gillian Robertson fight week, my guy. You know how we roll on this podcast. It's Gillian fight week. Fuck the main event. No. So I'm down about 6 units from last week, man. Unfortunately, I had a parlay that really would have been like a shrug it off type of loss last week, but it anchored on the main event not to go the distance. I actually picked Charles Oliveira to win the fight. And instead of taking the juicy plus money on the former lightweight champion, I was like, there's no way this fight goes 25 minutes, because if Charles is dominant grappling, there's no way Max survives for 5 freaking rounds. And the way he was lumped up in his head from just a couple of exchanges, I'm like, I feel robbed, man. I don't know how that fight went a full 25 minutes for the BMF title. Feels bad, especially when I could have really bailed myself out by just being on the right side of that fight. Everybody was on Max. I liked Oliveira, and I thought I was being smart by playing the total rather than the side. So, got me right in the short shorts on that one.
You know what's so crazy too is both guys I felt hurt each other a ton during that fight. It was weird. I had a bet on on Charles, and I love Charles. He's one of my favorite fighters. I thought he's got so many ways to win this fight. I love Charles here. But same thing is, they both hurt each other, and every time they were standing and Max started touching him, I just thought, okay, it's going to be done soon. And then when Charles gets his back and he's across the face and he's squeezing, I thought, this is done soon. White belt jiu-jitsu versus a black belt. But yeah, that's a tough beat. That one.
That was painful, man. And then, I got to just say, I love Raul Rosas Jr. The more he does, the better he gets, the more I like the kid. His whole thing after the fight about thanking his mom. The fact that he came from like literally nothing and he looks like Quasimodo from the Hunchback of Notre Dame, but he's now making life-changing money and like fixing his family's problems by fighting. I'm like, how do you not love that kid? You know what I mean? Like somebody, if it weren't for fighting, would have probably been like a society castaway type of person. And he's changing the lives of his family. It's just such a good story. I love him. I'm rooting for him. I thought that was really cool. And then the whole Drew Dober thing, man, that was weird with like the crazy line move at the end of the week. He was the underdog, pick 'em-ish throughout the middle of the week. And then on Friday, we saw a line crash like I've never seen before. My dog of the week turned into a -250 favorite by fight time. He was +210 live after the first round because he was getting his ass whooped by Michael Johnson. And then just nukes MJ. John Anik called it, man. I don't know if you saw. He left a dent in the side of MJ's head. I legitimately believe that Dober broke Michael Johnson's skull. I really hope he's okay because after that first left hook lands, there seriously is like a cave in on the side of his head. I wouldn't be shocked if we get x-rays this week.
Yeah, that's perfect for a $50,000 paycheck, huh? Doesn't that sound great?
Yeah, no kidding. It's insane. And I mean, geez, we're going to transition right into all the juicy bits, man. You got John Jones calling for release. You've got Ronda Rousey talking about how, that's what the company gets for catering and pandering to their shareholders rather than their fighters. And we've got an interim title at heavyweight at the White House between two guys that don't belong to the country because you couldn't get John Jones to sign on for the same money you're paying a boxer in your side gig, right? Like, what is going on right now with the UFC?
Yeah, and what's funny is Ronda saying that. First of all, I love Ronda, and I might be in the minority. I also read Ronda's book, and I thought it was one of the best books as far as competition mindset and just saying who she was as a person. But notice it's funny that she says that because she became bigger than the company. And now that she's smaller than the company, she's saying, you should focus, back on the fighters, not on the company. But she didn't have a lot of complaints when she was the UFC. It's funny.
Yeah. And I don't know, man, that I'm the foremost John Jones hater on planet Earth.
Too.
And the fact that he has done everybody dirty the whole way. And now he's like demanding everything at the end when it's like, bro, like nobody cares anymore. And I remember fights that they canceled and moved across state lines because he popped for drugs. And the fact that they moved the field goal posts for his drug testing to make sure he could compete in the UFC. And now you're going to bitch after not accepting a $30 million payday. You passed up a $30 million payday to fight Tom. Now you're going to complain that they won't put you on the White House card. Like, bro, get the fuck out of here. I'm so
Well, he just wanted an easy fight on the White House card too. That's the other issue. I have zero respect for John Jones for multiple reasons. I can acknowledge him as an amazing fighter, but the way he's conducted himself in business and before and after, and I will fight him, but I won't fight him. Like when he fought Stipe instead of Tom.
Yeah.
I mean, what more is there to say? He's amazing. He's a legend of the past, but now it's time to move forward.
Dude, at this point, I truly feel like at this point he's a joke. Like, what are we doing? Because if he comes back and they gave him my worst fear was that it was going to be Jones versus Pereira. And it's like, great. So we get a GSP situation where John Jones is not fighting a heavyweight. He's taking on a guy who used to fight at 170 pounds, for God's sake, and dices him on the mat as he should, and then walks away with the belt and retires. The heavyweight division is already in shambles as is. You ruin it by giving the belt to a guy who wants to parade around with the belt for another year before they strip him of it, that kind of thing.
He'll never fight again. That's the thing. I'm so happy with that Yuri and Pereira. That's an amazing fight. Amazing fight.
For sure. Completely agree. Shout out my guy Nonstop Fili in the chat. Thank you very much for the dono, my friend. Says Clint and Brandon, I have a question. My daughter, first child, congratulations, by the way, is due this month. Any advice for a first-time girl dad? Keep up the awesome content, fellas. And Brandon, say hi to Santino for us. First off, Nonstop, my guy, congratulations. I'm a girl dad myself, and could not be happier. My little monster is my favorite person in the entire world. I play Pokemon with her all the time. She's got a twisted sense of humor, way more advanced than a 10-year-old should have, because I'm her dad, and she drives my wife nuts because of it. The two of us go off and she can't get a hold of us. So it's a wonderful life having a daughter. It is awesome. As far as naming goes, man, what my wife and I did is we didn't want to have like the trendy name or anything, even by accident. So we picked up a list of like baby names, and we picked something neither of us had ever heard before. I'm not allowed to say it on the stream, but
I was gonna say, what's the name? Now I need to know.
I'll tell you I'll tell you off the camera, but you know, my wife doesn't want the personal info out there. So but we both had, you know, not that there was so much baggage, but you know what I mean? Like every name reminded her of somebody. She had a cousin, she had a, you know, a weird situation with someone she went to school with. Like I pitched a bunch of names and they all got shot down. So we ended up being like,
what was your number one name that you wanted? And she said no.
You know what? I actually didn't have a number one girl name because I thought we were going to have a boy. So I had a couple of boy names. I wanted to name her Ash, like the main character from Pokemon.
solid. I like it.
Right? So I wanted to go with Ash. And so then we talked about doing like Ashley, but we could call her Ash, but she knew an Ashley, and like, you know what I mean? So like, that's where it kind of all fell apart when we found out we were having a girl.
It's always that bitch Ashley.
It's always that bitch Ashley. But so, man, my advice for you to circle this all the way back around nonstop, is I'd say side with your wife. Okay. Because for me, I love my daughter no matter what her name is going to be, right? Like it didn't matter to me one bit unless we named her like, you know, my grandma's name or something, where it felt weird calling her into the room or something, right? Like that's where, if you've got a hard line, draw that hard line. Yeah, exactly. Gertrude, Beatrice, like, but besides that, like just make sure your wife's happy. You know what I mean? If there's something that means something to her, we've got like a family middle name of Marie, and that was my big thing. Is I was like, she's got to have the middle name Marie. My mom is a Marie. My sister's a Marie. My grandma was a Marie. Like that's like a family chain thing. So I was like, dibs on the middle name. Outside of that, don't care.
Up to you. What Brandon, if she chose a different last name than yours? What if she was like, okay, I'm going to take this to the max?
I mean, you know, dude, that's why, you know, I'm on the phone with my representative every single day trying to make sure she can't vote if she doesn't have my last name. So we're you're now, I don't think you're a girl dad. You don't have any kids running around out there that we don't know about at this point, right?
I'm trying so hard. No, I met a girl. This is my girlfriend. Her name is Miriam. She lives in Austria. It's kind of hard to conceive from so far away, and it's a fairly new relationship, but I'm gonna put some babies in her soon, and then we'll have to do the same conversation.
I'd be impressed if you pulled that off overseas that way. Zach with Clint wanted to name her Gillian. Yeah, that would have been. Imagine if we ever have an oops. We're gonna have Gillian for the second child for sure.
Then she'll be a single mother raising 2 kids on her own, I imagine.
Ain't it the truth? The it factor, my man. Thank you very much for the donuts. You guys absolutely rock today. And Zach knows what's up. Happy wife, happy life. And truer words have never been spoken. For you younger guys out there, if you're dating, if you're on your way up in the relationship world, there is nothing more pure in life than your wife being happy. So they call us whipped when we're kids. As an adult, you realize that's the way to go, man. If there's peace at home, life is good.
You know, my girlfriend just came to America for the first time, and that's exactly right. Just seeing her smile, seeing her so excited about little things and nothing big, it's the greatest feeling in the world. That's all you live
awesome
for right there.
Dude, it's, you know, that meme where it's like the guy who knows nothing, and then the curve where like you think you're smart and you actually are wrong, and then it comes back down to being an expert. It's the same thing in relationships. When you get started, them little butterflies where you're like, I just want to love bomb her. I just want to shower her with everything. And like, that's what makes you all excited. You get a year or two into the relationship and everything gets a little stale, and then you kind of hate her a little bit. Then it kind of comes back around to where you're like everything is like easy and peaceful, and you're like, you know what, like I'm gonna get back to it. That's how it goes. That's how the relationships go. You hit that rough patch and you're like, we're done, I'm out. If you get to the point where you can like create peace afterwards and like that's when you're back to being like the same caveman headed person where you're just like, me just be happy.
Exactly. Hey, being a man is so simple. We just need a few things. It's nice and easy. Once we can focus on our lane, that's it. We're good.
Facts. Absolutely. All right, guys, enough relationship advice. Brandon and I can start an After Dark podcast once he gets married. We'll get into UFC
Hopefully
Vegas.
soon.
Yeah, right around the corner. UFC Vegas 114. First fight of the night, and we're kicking it off in style, guys. It is Sam Page fight week. This is a Sam Page podcast, and it's a rematch. She is running it back with Piera Rodriguez. And Brandon and I were chatting ever so briefly before the show about this one. And guys, I'm a Sam Page fan. You guys know me. I'm excited about this fight. I love every greasy, terrible women's MMA fight they can throw at us. And I love Sam Hughes. I'm probably the only person who knows her name, right? Like, she's not a huge star in the UFC, even though she's had a bunch of fights now at this point. The hardcores know who she is. Who asked for this rematch? Like, nobody outside of us on this show right now want this rematch. I don't know why, but I like it. So I went back and I watched the first fight again, just for those of you who haven't seen it in a while. And Piera Rodriguez starts out really, really strong. She's like skating around the outside. She's got an athleticism advantage. She's faster than Sam. You can see when they start tagging each other, she's landing with authority. Like, her shots are not hurting, but landing harder on Sam. Her face is kind of getting busted up and red and stuff. She hits a couple of takedowns. But then round 2 starts, and the takedowns aren't coming as easy. And Sam starts to have a little bit more success. And then round 3 comes, and Piera's running for her life. And Sam Hughes is like cutting the cage off and head kicking her. And so it's a tale of round 1 and round 3. Piera has all the success early, a little bit of success in round 2. The damage swung the fight. And then in round 3, it's all Sam Hughes. And I think the fight hasn't changed. I'm a big fan of saying that no 2 fights are alike, even when it's a rematch, even when it's the same fighters. It just, they make adjustments. Things happen differently. Man, I've got a real hard time seeing this fight do anything different than what we saw last time. Piera's 33 years old. So is Sam. Piera still has the same gas tank issues. Since that fight, she won a split decision, and she got DQ'd for headbutting a chick when the referee looked at her in the face and said, "Do not headbutt her." She did it anyway and got disqualified.
Typical woman. You tell them not to do something. Of course they're going to do it. Of course.
Just to spite you. She's big. She's physical. She's strong. She's got good wrestling. She took Gillian down once when they were fighting. So the wrestling is going to be there for her. She has vicious ground and pound. You go back and watch the Josephine Knutson fight. She beat her within an inch of her life on the mat. Sam Hughes, she's hard to take down. She's got great cardio. She's built for 5 rounds, man. She will take over a fight in rounds 2 and round 3 every time. She always wants to be moving forward. She wants to push a pace. She wants to make you tired. And then she just beats you up. She's got submissions. She can get a ground and pound TKO if you tire out, but she's kind of a decision machine at that point. She's reliant on winning those second and third rounds on you. But she's tough as nails. She's damn near impossible to put away. I like this fight. I think it should be fun. It'll be interesting to see who made more improvements in the offseason. But guys, this is dog or pass. I kind of like Sam Hughes. She's a plus 130 underdog. And this fight is going to be round 1 Piera, round 3 Hughes. And then it's all going to come down to round 2. And if Sam can turn up a little faster this time, I think she can get this dub. So yes, it's a simp bet for all of you wondering, but she's plus 130. I'm not moving yet, Brandon, because money's coming in on Piera Rodriguez. We might get a bigger number by the end of the week. So I'm absolutely going to just chill at the moment. But you guys, Sam Hughes is the Link Memorial Dog of the Week. First fight of the evening. We're rocking with it. We got it done with Drew Dober last week. We're going back to it this week. I know I covered a lot of ground there, Brandon. I apologize. What do you think about this fight, man?
No, that's good. That's good. I love coming on your show because you always set the groundwork, and it's just easy just to add a little bit of flavor. I like Sam Hughes in this spot. Here's the reason I like Sam Hughes. Little background on Piera, because I had trained with Piera a few years ago at Black House. And the one thing that I noticed at Black House is there was really no skill improvement. Every bit of the training was either hard sparring or it was just hard workouts, like really hard workouts. So you get in really, really good shape, but not a lot of technical skills, right? And so when she left Black House, she moved to Las Vegas to Extreme Couture. And at the time, remember, I was friends with Vanessa. And so Vanessa and Piera were friends. They would train together occasionally, and that was kind of the main training partner. But if you notice what's happened in MMA, most people, especially when they care about their career, have left Las Vegas. Now, why have they left Las Vegas? Outside of the Marabs and those guys who have their own little clique and the people that they train with. But there's not a lot of coaching. There's not a lot of skill development, skill work. And if you watch Piera's game, she's very similar to how she's always been. She's a hard charging, stay in your face. She's got these little short meatball punches, and then she mixes it in with the wrestling, which is great. But Sam is like, man, I've tried to fade Sam 1,000 times. Like every time the matchup comes, I'm like, yeah, this is the one. She has no takedown defense. She's unathletic. Like, forget this. Can I ask a question? I didn't get to see the Fernandez and Bellato fight. How did that go?
Fernandez was in the driver's seat, man. It was a 1-round banger of a fight where Fernandez just did everything right. He was coming forward, he was landing, he was pushing Bellato back. Like it really looked like he was gonna break Bellato at some point. Bellato just hit him with like a little cheeky check hook. Like he got in a little too close, dropped his hand, and got him with one, and that was it.
So the reason that I'm asking that is because I didn't see the fight. I was working at the time. But one thing I said on the podcast last week is Fernandez looks the part, man. He rolls his shoulders. He looks good. But it's when the defense starts to break down or he catches the first shot, then what happens? And the reason that I say that is because I watch Piera. When she's in the driver's seat, she's a dog. She's controlling the action. The second that she gets tired, she takes backward steps. She takes bad shots. Her punches become loopy. And that's the thing is Sam, one thing I respect about her game more than anything else, she's always so calm. She's just the most calm. You take her down, okay, she works back up. And her fight IQ and her strength and even just her fighting ability, her striking, everything has made leaps and bounds improvements since the first fight. I'm looking at Piera. She's still at the UFC PI. She's still at Extreme Couture. She's still doing the same thing. So it's a lot of tough girls in the same place, really working hard. But I look at Sam and I think she's improving. And I think that second round will be all the difference. Sprawl and brawl, stand up when she needs to. And I love that she doesn't put power on every punch. She just touches. Then she starts putting a stamp. Beating Rondinha, what's her name? Luciano. Amazing win to me. All of her last wins have been so good. Very, very close fight. And I definitely see a path for Piera, right? Piera just takes her down, out athletics her, big dogs her. But I like Sam in this spot. I love her composure. I love her striking. I love the little shots she throws, the little knees, the little elbows, the little jabs. I think all that stuff's going to wear on Piera. It's going to put a pace on her, and it's going to force her on the defense more than anything. So give me Sam Hughes in this spot.
Hell yeah. Now, it might be better as a live bet, you guys. I got smoked last weekend, Brandon, with my live betting prediction because I wanted to jump in on Nyman Jargle against Cody Durden because in my head, I'm thinking Cody Durden is going to take him down in round 1 like he does everybody, and I'll get a better number on this guy going into round 2 and round 3. Didn't happen that way. Nyman Jargle ended up like whooping on Cody Durden halfway through the first round, ended up being on top of him, and was way more expensive going into round 2. So I didn't get my opportunity to live bet. I don't think Sam is going to do that here. Piera is so good at the beginning of a fight. I think she'll win round 1. You're probably going to get a better number if you can live bet going into round 2. So I would, tempting fate here again. I could have bet minus 160 and cashed on Nyman Jargle last week, but instead I got greedy looking for the live bet. I'm going to attempt it here, you guys. Instead of betting the plus 130, we'll see how high that number gets throughout the rest of the week. But I think you'll get a better number live after Piera Rodriguez wins round 1. You might be able to do that. Real quick, shout out Arkansas here in the chat. Arkansas Pete, once again trying to sell sell the rumor that I'm being paid by bookies to give bad picks. Bro, I'm just a guy with a podcast. I'm a bad gambler for the last 2 years, and that's life. And my guy, The Solution, knows what's up. Taylor Fade, your decision. I'm bringing you entertainment, and I'm trying to break down the fights and the X's and O's. I'll tell you what I bet. You do what you want with your own money. Like that's the whole show. Real quick, got a question here that I wanted to tap on real fast. Oh shit, I lost it. I was talking to the wrong guy and then I lost it. Okay. Tyga asks, story time real quick, who's Link? And for those of you who are new, Link was my dog. This is my boy right here, the Link Memorial Dog of the Week. And we named the Underdog of the Week segment after him. About a year and a half ago, right around Christmas, he passed. My wife and I, when we first got married, as most young couples do before having a kid, we bought a dog, and we ended up buying two. We had Link and we had Zelda. And Link had a heart murmur, guys. His heart was too big for his chest, and we knew one day that would be a problem. And unfortunately, it got him early, So we unfortunately don't have him with us anymore, and it was a real tough time for us to go through. And I thought betting an underdog every single week in his honor would be a fun way to kind of keep him close. And I've got a video. If you guys follow me on socials, whether it's on Twitter or almost called it X, boy, that would have been a mistake, on Twitter or on Instagram, every time the Link Memorial Dog of the Week wins, I've got a video of him where he's like barking. Him and Zelda are barking at each other while they're playing, and I post that. So it's just a fun way to keep my dog close. You know what I mean? So thank you for asking, though. Really appreciate it. All right. Let's move it on, man. Both of us liking Sam Hughes. Next up, Elijah Smith taking on Jiu-Jitsu Su Young Yu. Interesting fight here on this one, man. Really interesting fight. Elijah Smith is 23 years old, 9-1, 2-0 off Dana White's Contender Series. His last fight, he went Rampage Jackson style with a big old slam KO. This kid is powerful. He's athletic. He's extremely light on his feet. He's got a wrestling background. Smooth level changes from what I've seen. Striking looks like it's kind of a work in progress, but with these fast twitch athletic guys, it doesn't take much. They come along really quickly. He's got 4 wins by KO. In his first UFC fight, he landed 3 of his 4 takedowns on Vince, and he avoided getting submitted late in the fight. He looks good. Honestly, I think this kid has got a very, very high ceiling. Jiu-Jitsu is 16-3, 30 years old. He's on a 3-0 UFC run right now. But let's be real, man. You look at the guys that Jiu-Jitsu is beating. And
all right, hey, you know how much I love Xiaolong, so careful.
Oh no. Well, here's the thing, though. Xiaolong is the best one of the bunch. Right? He's got AJ Cunningham and then Bargang Zala. Like I can't even say the guy's name. It's another road to UFC guy, and road to UFC guys more often than not are bums. So Xiaolong is the only guy that's even respectable out of that, and I'm not super high on him.
Is he respectable? Okay. Come on, is he respectable?
That's the thing. So, I mean, honestly, Jiu-Jitsu, it looks like he's really been a decision machine. He's relying on his wrestling and his grappling and his top time to be able to get through these guys. And man, I don't think that's going to hold up when he meets American horsepower. You know what I mean? Like he's going to run into a guy that wrestled in the United States, who's got some muscle on his frame, who didn't come from road to UFC. And all of a sudden he's not going to be able to take him down. And if he can't get the top time he needs, he's not finishing anybody at the UFC level, man. He was a finisher on the regional scene. He was taking people down and choking them out, and he's hanging on for dear life in the UFC. He's got to smother people to get these wins. I think Elijah Smith is going to smash this guy, man. What do you make of this fight?
Yeah, it's fun, dude. It's funny because the very first time I ever stepped into a MMA gym was with his dad, with Elijah Smith's dad, Gilbert Smith, and I trained in Colorado, and that's where I got started. Honestly, I think jiu-jitsu is fine, and usually, if there was anyone that had jitsu in their name against a black guy, I'm gonna automatically bet them by submission. I mean, it's a tale as old as time. But in this matchup, I mean, this guy is just a complete weenie. I think athletically, like. Elijah Smith is so much faster, so much more athletic. He hits so much harder. He's taller, he's longer, and his arms are longer too. I really like Elijah in this spot. I think he's way too athletic. And like you said, when jiu-jitsu can't get the game started, even in the last fight, my read for that one was Xiaolong round 2-3 knockout because he always tends to fade. He can't keep that pace forever. I like Elijah Smith. Now I know Elijah slows down as well, and at some point that's going to come to play. The only thing that I do worry about is that at the beginning, that what is his name, Su Young Yu, Jiu-Jitsu. Mm-hmm. I worry that he won't have any success at the beginning while Elijah's fresh. But the thing about it is he's a workhorse. He's going to stay in on legs, stay attacking it. It's his only option. What I worry about is round 2, round 3, is if he's able to get Elijah down. Then we have something to talk about. But honestly, I think that Elijah's just too athletic, too long, too powerful. I agree with you. I think the athleticism is a major, major difference here. And I think Elijah gets it done. And by knockout. I think this is when we see the 2-3 knockout.
Okay. Now, see, that's bold right there. Paul in the knockout. I think
this dude can crack. I think Elijah, the best part of his game, I think, is his hands. I know it's a work in progress. defensively and footwork, but he can punch. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He can punch.
For sure. And I don't think jiu-jitsu's got much to come back at him, man. If he tires out and he wins rounds 1 and 2, I don't think he's losing by round 3 sub to jiu-jitsu. So like, I think the money line is cheap. I'm not sure why he's under -200 at this point. I think he's a good piece this week.
I wouldn't play him more than that. I wouldn't, because he's still, fairly unproven. And he fought a guy in like Vince Morales, who is a counter grappler, but not a proactive grappler. And I think this is going to be a different style matchup. So I think he wins, but I wouldn't play too much past where it is now.
Yeah, no, I hear you there for sure. Shout out my guy Razor Sharp Picks in the chat. One of the best to do it. Unfortunately, he's a Packers fan, but besides that, he's all right. No, seriously, guys, one of the best gamblers I've ever seen in my life. And thank you, Razor, for reminding me. He's got a discount right now for his package. It's $4.99 right now. Which seriously, you guys, I don't promote anybody selling picks except my guy the Keg and except Razor. When it comes to like non-MMA sports, they're the only two guys I know who long-term verifiably are winners, and I don't steer you guys to people who are not good, right? So he's not a scammer. $4.99. He runs my life when it comes to NBA, college basketball. I just tail and pray. I hate basketball, and he turns a profit every single year. So seriously, check him out. $4.99. Promise you, it's worth it. Next fight, guys, we've got Bia Mesquita, the Lady Goat, which is a bold name, by the way, taking on Montserrat Rendon. The monster is very appropriate for her. Montserrat Rendon, man, 7-1, 36 years old. She's just a brick wall. Like she's 2-1 in the UFC, and she's massive. She's strong. She's a bully. Like I've said it before, all it takes in women's MMA to get wins is to be physical. Like with the men, that only goes so far. With the women, you can damn near get to contender status by just being tougher than everybody else. So Rendon is pulling stuff off here in the UFC just by being massive. She hits hard. She has long clubbing attacks, but she's slow, man. Like she can't reload. She can't get her hands back. She drops her hands. She's hittable, but she gets on top of people. And she's going to be 4 inches taller here with a 1-inch reach advantage. Now, Bea in this spot, 6-0, undefeated, 34 years old. When she first got to the UFC, I was kind of scratching my head. I was like, why are they signing some like 6-0 34-year-old chick? Like she's too old to be a prospect. And guys, it's because she is the Alex Pereira of women's MMA. Like except for grappling, she's a jiu-jitsu phenom. She's a stud. She's got a full-on career grappling before she ever transitioned over to MMA. She's training out of ATT. She's got submission wins over people like Mackenzie Dern and Jennifer Maya, who's a world champion BJJ black belt. So pre-UFC grappling credentials, she's nasty, man. And she made it to the UFC. She won her debut. So they're bringing her along. This is a really tough fight, man, because I don't know Bia's super well-versed in her MMA career just yet. They're giving her Montserrat Rendon, who is big, who is physical, who is strong, who hasn't fought the best competition, but has a 100% takedown defense rating. This is a pretty serious test for a girl who doesn't have a ton of experience yet in MMA. If it gets to the mat, Mesquita is miles ahead. But if she can't get it down, can she win this fight? Like for -470, I've got a hard time. If she can't get it to the ground, she may not be able to win. This one's tough for me, man. I've got to go with the favorite. I got to side with the bookies here, but I don't think I'm touching -470. What about you?
I think this is not a close fight at all.
Really?
And let me start by saying I think that Bia is not good. I think she's not good. In jiu-jitsu, she was fine because here's the other thing about jiu-jitsu is you can just be all steroided up. There's no testing. You can do this for years and years, and you're in divisions where no one else takes steroids. It's super easy. I mean, you could do it, right? She's good enough, and she's technical and all this stuff. Lest you forget, she has a loss to Juliana Miller in grappling. Do you know this?
I did not catch that.
Juliana Miller beat her ass in, I think it was combat jiu-jitsu. Beat her ass, the greatest of all time. So this is the rematch we actually need. We need this in the cage. However, this fight it's not going to be close. Rendon is big, and that's pretty much where it ends. You said she hits hard. I don't agree with that. and only because of how she punches. She's so square with her body. Every punch is an arm punch, and then a lot of times she's kind of circling back in her stance, and she's just pumping stuff out. I've tried to fade Bia every single fight. Trust me. I had that athletic black chick that was boxing her up, bust her nose. Somehow she still found a way to win. The thing with Rendon, you can just see it in her hips. She's probably tough on the initial shot to get down, but her hips are so bad. When she ends up on her back, she is going to be a complete turtle. And this fight won't be close. And on the feet, I just don't think she has the power, the elusiveness, honestly, just the technical ability to actually hurt Bia. This is a tailor-made matchup for Bia. Bia's going to get her down. She's going to get to mount. She's going to choke her out, elbow her a lot. She's training with really tough girls at ATT. Like it or not, she's getting better. Like it or not, I don't think she's good. And the fade is going to be. But for now, I think that Bia is going to run through her. I don't think this is a close fight.
Okay. And that's some great context from our guy, Timmy Triano, in the chat. Rendon takedown defense is 100% against Elise Pereira. The worst to ever do it. Not that Pereira, right? We mixed her up when we broke that fight down. And Vidal, who is the 4th worst to ever do it. So, yeah, man, it's like I said, she hasn't fought a ton of crazy stiff competition. The note about her losing that combat jiu-jitsu match, though, that makes all the world difference to me, because we're kind of flying dark in the UFC as far as how bad or good her takedown defense may or may not be. And that's the question mark for me.
I'm talking about Bia, right? Who lost, not Rendon.
Oh, no, I got that backwards. I thought you were saying Rendon lost the combat jiu-jitsu.
No. Bia Mesquita, the greatest ever, lost to meth head Juliana Miller.
Okay. No, I did miss that. That is interesting. Now, okay, I'm pulling up a record. It looks like that was back in 2021. So, okay. Weird. Okay, interesting.
I mean, the only difference is she stopped training jiu-jitsu and started learning to strike, and that's not working very well either. So, I don't know. I don't know what you want to do. I totally get the huge number on these female dogs. I just think Rendon literally just has 0 skills. And Bia's not far behind her, but the skills she does has are so much greater in that realm than what Rendon's going to be doing.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Okay. So interesting. This is such a weird fight. I can't do it. You guys know I'll throw my money at savage, greasy, dirty women's MMA fights, but not when it's a -500 price tag. If they give me -120 on the sub prop, okay, maybe I'll jump in. But I'm not doing anything else besides that on this one. I'll sit back and watch this one.
Yeah, smart. I think she's going to finish her either way. I think that's safe for me.
Okay. Good to hear it. Joshua in the chat says, Clint, Packers fan here as well. Boo. Too early to shot bet Vikings versus Pack. Josh, you want to go season long? What do you mean? I'll be honest with you, man. We always split. We always go 1-1. So I'm not sure. Name your terms, because I'm in. You got to name your terms on this one. Let's go. And point of record, you guys know I'm not huge on feeding the trolls. I dunk when I have a minute to, that kind of thing. But Arkansas, I'm not scamming anybody. I literally just do a podcast and I tell people what I'm putting my money on. People don't pay for anything. So there's no scam happening here. That's kind of the thing. People enjoy the content. People enjoy the show. Some people enjoy watching me light my money on fire and running in a circle laughing about it. Whatever, hang out or don't, bro. It's not that complicated. It's that simple. So you do you, my friend. Next fight up, we've got Luan Lacerda, and he's taking on Hector Sosa. This is where this card gets interesting. Everything gets real greasy from this point forward, Brandon. Luan Lacerda, 13-3, 33 years old, 1-2 UFC run, lost to Cody Stamen in his UFC debut, and then he got pounded out by Damon Blackshear. So kind of an interesting start to his run here. Very heavy on the feet from Nova União. He's got that hard plotting Muay Thai style, right? Likes to walk his opponents down, hard chopping kicks. I like how he attacks the body. He's got a pretty active lead hand. I feel like he's better than his record would suggest. I know he doesn't have a ton of UFC experience. It's only 3 fights. He got right with his last fight, and that's the angle I took going into the Simon Oliveira fight. Was I said I know he lost 2, but I don't think he's that bad. So he gets his win. He's got extremely high level BJJ from what it looks like. Now you can tell a little bit more about that than me, obviously.
It's good. It's solid. Very solid.
Okay. All right. I'm always nervous to say people have good BJJ when you're on the show, because I've told everybody I'm blue belt. So it looks good to me. But when a guy like Brandon gets in the room, if I say it's good and he goes, I'm like, fuck, I just screwed up.
I hold a high standard with jiu-jitsu only because I've been around it so long. So you're right. I hold a high standard.
Yep. So, and that's I will pass it to the boss here on that one. He's got 11 wins by sub, 66% takedown defense rating. Cody Stamen. Why am I struggling with Cody's name tonight? 0 of 2. Damon Blackshear 1 of 2. Simon Oliveira 1 of 2. So questionable on that takedown defense. Usually the jiu-jitsu guys not too worried about it. They get it to the mat. That's where they like it anyway. His opponent is Hector Sosa, who is 14-1, 30 years old. It's his debut. He's coming off Dana White's Contender Series. This guy is a really aggressive grappler. Apparently, he's a Spanish grappling champion. He just kind of bullied his guy around the cage on Dana White's Contender Series. I mean, took him down immediately. He's super aggressive with his ground and pound and his submissions. This is the kind of guy that makes grappling and MMA fun to watch. Like when you're working your way back up to the feet and trying to like stand and stuff, he's just beating the hell out of you. Instead of just chain grappling and taking you down immediately, he's focused on damage. He hunts the back takes. He's looking for trips. He'll pick people up and slam them down to the ground. He keeps a crazy pace. I'd be curious to see if that pace will last against somebody who's got like decent defense. He does stick his head in chokes, man. He's a little Cody Durden-esque with the way that he's just nonstop, and he's been caught in submissions deep a couple of times, but he's got good enough sub defense to stay safe and get out of them. He knows how to defend, things like that. But like even on Dana White's Contender Series, he was threatened several times with choking attempts. So I'm not sure what to make of this guy, especially considering just last week we had not one but two guys making their debuts with a ton of experience that completely shit the bed coming into their UFC starts. So Hector Sosa minus 205, Luan Lacerda plus 170, the underdog here in this spot. I have to lean with Hector, but at minus 200, again, like I just got burned doing that shit last week, man. So I don't know if I'm betting this fight. I might want to just kind of sit back and see what happens here. I'm worried that Lacerda will be willing to play jiu-jitsu and Sosa will win minutes. So he'll end up winning the fight if he doesn't get caught in a sub. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think if these two fought in the gym, I think it would be 50-50. I really feel like if they fought in the gym, Lacerda's skilled. I don't think Lacerda is like nothing. Like he's got great front kicks. He's got good boxing, good jiu-jitsu. I think the guy is really, really solid. I like Sosa in the spot only because of the activity. It's weird. I think the big difference too, you're talking about last week, the guys that were shitting the bed and kind of the newcomers. This is Luke Fernandez, who's 6-1, right? Hecher Sosa is what, 14-3 or something like that. He's been a champion in multiple organizations. He's not a wrestler that kind of came over. He's just an all-out MMA fighter. He's been fighting good guys. Even that Maxim Lee. I mean, if you watch his highlight reel, I wouldn't want to fight that guy. And Sosa just came out and just big dicked him. Said, whatever, I'm going to take you down and I'm going to destroy you. I think if Lacerda was a lot more active and he was fighting all the time, I mean, honestly, I don't count 9 minutes against Simon Oliveira. That realistically for me, he's had 1 fight or 0 fights in 3 years. Because I mean, Oliveira's just pretty much brought him to lose. I like Sosa based on activity. I love that he fills the space. This is something that Demetrius Johnson did really well. Anytime you're getting up on a break, he's throwing an elbow, an uppercut, a knee. There's something that's always filling the space. The thing I don't like about Sosa is a lot of times he'll rush in and his chin is always straight up in the air and he kind of throws these punches. But why this works for him, it's almost like Khabib back in the day, right? And it wasn't the chin up, but he would just throw crazy punches so he can get a hold of you, just get close to you. And it seems like that's what Sosa does a lot. And then he starts his grappling, he starts the little punches. I think he's going to win a lot of minutes. I think he's going to fill a lot of space. Those front chokes, I didn't think were particularly close. I think Maxim Lee was just really, really tall. And so that's what you do. You just kind of throw that stuff up. But watching the tape, Sosa, I mean, he did all the right things. He knows what he's doing. He's very aware of the grappling. It's so hard to submit somebody in MMA, especially off your back. I think Sosa's going to hurt him on the feet. He's going to push him against the cage. Lots of rough and tough little elbows, little knees. I like Sosa. I actually think what's happening here is the UFC is going to angle for a Spain card. They have to, because now you're going to have Sosa, Joel Alvarez, and Topuria. I mean, that's a strong lineup, and they'll find some more.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. They absolutely gotta fill up the roster with some Spaniards if they're gonna pull that move, because that'd be tough to only have like 2 guys on the card. This guy
is fun, man. This guy's really fun. And I would
fun.
say there's a Spanish guy. He's gonna be a superstar. His name is Nico Gaffey, and he fights in bare knuckle. We need this guy in the UFC. I mean, this guy's amazing. Such a good boxer.
All right. Yeah, no, after Ilya Taporia knocks out Justin Gaethje at the White House card, we're going to Spain. Like they're wheeling all the white American guys in to get their asses whooped at the White House card.
It's crazy. What happened to our sense of pride as a nation?
Dude, I was laughing so hard because I was going to build like a realistic White House card, and I didn't get time, unfortunately, because it was going to be like, okay, so like Dustin Jacoby, right? Like you got to put guys like that. So find who's he gonna beat here now. Like you gotta like line up these guys for wins. Get Colby Covington on the card. It's either him and Bo Nickal, so it's a guaranteed win, or you got to talk a lightweight into moving up to fight Colby.
Instead, or you do the American Classic. You bring in some really low-paid immigrants to serve their job and be on the way.
Yeah, right. Nothing gets more American than that. Can't wait. Let's go, guys. Next up, Bolaji Oki, the Zulu Warrior, takes on Manelo Sosa, which tied me up a little bit there because we had Sousa and Sosa in back-to-back fights while I was doing my notes. I got a little tied up there. So in this fight, Oki is 10-3, 30 years old, 2-2 so far off Dana White's Contender Series. Man, I'll never forgive him for that Timmy Kwamba split decision. Like that's the one, it always stuck with me that I was like, yeah, there's something not quite right about the fact that he went to split decision with Timmy Kwamba.
Not a big Timmy fan, huh?
Not a big Timmy fan.
I mean, that guy. I think he's got skills.
He's okay, but he's another one where like he's okay, he's got skills, but like I don't know how good he is at the UFC level. I feel like he's going to be mid-range, you know what I mean? And he was at the wrong weight class. That was kind of the big thing, is that Oki,
we moved up on short notice, yeah.
And Oki barely beat him. That I'm like, like it was just kind of a bad look to me. Since then, you know, he got smoked by Duncan. He got taken out by Mason Jones, who were both really good, by the way. So I'm not going to hold that.
He had good moments in both fights.
He had big moments, but it's like, man, I feel like Oki's one of those guys that's got all the pieces, but is never going to put it all the way together. You know what I mean? Like, just can't quite get it done under the bright lights against the big name. He'll beat guys that he should beat. I don't know that he's ever going to make it to the contender circle. He's got a nice jab. He's heavy on his feet. He covers and rolls well with punches. He's got a big right hand. He's got power, so he can dead people early if he catches you. He's very aggressive. So again, it all looks good, but I almost feel like we found his ceiling. I feel like maybe I'm pronouncing him dead a little early, but seems like we kind of found the bar here. His opponent, Manolo Sosa, coming in here 13-1, 28 years old, making his debut off Contender Series. He fought in PFL once and Bellator twice, and they still made him fight on Dana White's Contender Series, which is just the funniest thing to me. Usually when you've got credentials like that, those are not your average regional shows. They'll welcome you into the UFC with wide open arms then.
And he's got big highlights too.
He does. Like, why did he go on Dana White's Contender Series? He's got like 27 professional fights. I don't know, man. His only loss was to Archie Colgan, who's a Bellator veteran, right? Nice footwork, good movement. He's got that sideways karate, bouncing, explosive style, smooth hands. He was hitting Archie with some uppercuts in that fight that were really nice. Good short ripping power shots to the body. The big issue was the wrestling. Archie was able to take him down and grind away some minutes and stuff like that, and he couldn't find his way to like a knockout. But on the feet, he was having good moments. I like this Sosa guy. Like, I feel like he's really good, and I think he's durable enough to take power shots from Oki. I don't like the line though, Brandon, and that's my, gambling guys, you don't have to bet on everything. Sosa's minus 270. I think he wins the fight, but I don't think he should be over 200. I feel like this is like a minus 175 kind of spot, So I feel like it's a little too pricey. I'm picking Sosa, but the wider the line gets, eventually there's a price tag on Oki. I'm not pulling the trigger, but like, I feel like the line is wide.
Yeah, I actually totally agree with you. I was actually surprised to hear you be as critical on Oki as you were, and as high on Sosa, because it's weird. I almost feel like they're the opposite. If you put me in Oki's body, I'm world champion. That guy is a freak athletic. He's just a freak. The issue is that I think he makes a lot of mental mistakes. I mean, he'll spam 7 overhands in a row and then empty his entire gas tank in the middle of a round for no reason. These are the things why I think he's going to end up losing. And it's not because I think that how do you say his name? I thought it was Manel. How do you say Manolo?
Oh, you know what? It might be Manoel. Because it is
I think it
spelled
was
Noel, like Noel. So Manuel? It could be just a funky Manuel.
I don't know. Brazilians are retarded. Anyways, I think I agree with you. He's got incredible hardware. I mean, the guy hits like a tank. He never stops moving forward. Punches don't really seem to affect him. Obviously, his big hole in his game is the grappling. But I'm gonna say he's gonna get tagged early. I think, like you said, Bolaji has a great jab. He's got fast hands, man. And one thing he does a lot, he almost does it too much. He's constantly doing the pull counter. But I think at the beginning of this fight, while Sosa's finding his range, while he's working his way in, I think Bolaji's going to tag him a lot. But then you have the round 2 Bolaji, the round 3 Bolaji, where he just kind of falls apart, especially when things don't go for him or he burns his arms out or something like this. I think Sosa, I mean, he has massive, massive power. We've seen Oki hurt so many times. I think Manoel's going to knock him out. I think it's going to be a close fight until it's not. And then I think he's going to take over and knock him out.
Okay. That's, yeah, I'm glad we're seeing this kind of the same. It's one of those ones where I feel like the line should be closer to being flippy. You know what I mean? It's just too pricey for me.
There's nothing wrong with an Oki round 1 KO slip. I don't think so at all.
Never anything wrong with an Oki round 1 KO. Just like there's never anything wrong with a Brundage round 1 KO.
I don't know. The recipe's done now. He makes it past round 1. He fights for 5 minutes.
He's the new Bob Sapp, man. He's there for a paycheck, and then he's peacing out if he doesn't get it done in 4 minutes.
Is he a friend of the show here? Is he a friend of the show?
You know what? Like, kind of, but not really. He was friend of the show, and that's the thing. I'm not like hating, but I'm making jokes. You know what I mean? So he did not like some of the things I posted a couple times. I reached out to him, and beforehand I was like, man, I'm a fan. Like, I really hope you do well. Like, I want to see you win. And so I was like pep talking him and like buddying with him and stuff. And then again, I kind of made a couple of memes, and he was like, bro, you're a hater. I'm like, no, like, I'm just joking.
Oh, I like Cody.
Fun.
You know, the thing is, I really actually like Cody. I can see his wheels working, and I think he's actually skilled. He can wrestle. He can do everything. He's skilled. It's just his head. And I like him. I think he's a nice guy. I think he's super friendly. And I remember when Vanessa moved to Colorado with him, Demopolis, and she goes, yeah, I've been talking to Cody, and he thinks you hate him because of how you talk about him on breakdowns. I said, no, that's not it. I love him. Dude,
and that's
the money.
I always try to say, like, I'm trying to be as like clear-eyed with my predictions as I can be, like, fan and biases aside. I'll tell you what I see. And of course, it's entertainment. I'm trying to make it funny, so I'll crack a joke here and there, but like none of it's personal. I've had several fighters come after me, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, I can't pick you all to win. They lock 2 of you in a cage, really? Man.
No one has ever messaged me, and I think I've said some bad stuff about some people. So I don't know. I don't know why they go after you.
Oh my lord! You know what? Probably because I actively post like my one-liners and stuff, so it gets to them when they, someone sends it to them, they search it up, that kind of thing, and then I get dunked on when I'm wrong. It's tough, man. Tough in the streets out here. I will never live down the Patchy Mix call ever.
I put my heart out for him too, because I trained with him, and I'm like,
that was rough, man. And yes, Tim, I am racist against all Tims. No Tims, no Timothys around here. Absolutely. All right. Joshua saying, hear me out, Cult of Clint. Shot of the week, where you pick your wildest, most far-fetched prop, has to be like plus 1,000 odds. Yeah, that'd be fun. Everyone after the stream ends, so I can see what your picks are. Come back and comment your 10-1 or higher props for the week. I want to see what you guys come up with. Next fight up, we've got Chris Curtis, the action man, back in the cage, taking on Myktybek, Orolbai, and Brandon. Why do they got to do this to me? These are my boys. This is like my UFC 9/11. Like, I've been the biggest apologist for Action Man since he made it to the UFC. We cashed tickets with him at plus 200 and plus 250. We cashed knockout props, like when everyone thought he was a bum. And then when he had like the weird situation, the head clash with Kelvin Gastelum, and the no contest with Nasruddin, where people are fouling him left and right. And I've always been the guy that's like, look, if you watch it, he's super competitive. He's like a man version of Sam Hughes, where he downloads in round 1 Piotr Jan style and then turns up in rounds 2 and 3. He doesn't take a lot of damage. He's got really clean boxing. He's heavy on the feet and he's super hard to take down. Problem is, he's been moonlighting up at 185 for too long. The guy's a 170 pounder. He should have been fighting in 170 all along. At 170, he's a fucking problem, man. His power is serious at 170 pounds. So maybe poor career choices and stuff like that have led him to having this middling record. Now he's an old man. He's coming off a bunch of split decisions where he's fighting close with guys like Brennan Allen and Marc-Andre Barriol and Max Griffin. And it's tough, man. And now they give him Myktybek Orolbai, which I was super high on Myktybek Orolbai when he first made it to the UFC. First generation upright caveman. He's 28 years old. He's on a serious win streak right now, 1-4 in his UFC career. Has only lost that split to Mateus, and I will die on the hill that if it wasn't for that eye swelling, he would have won that fight. So made it a close fight even after getting hurt early. And the most impressive thing coming back is his most recent fight where he took on Jack Hermanson.
This time.
I mean, just deaded the Joker with a single punch. So power looks like it's not a problem at 170. That was always my worry, is he's similar to Chris, massive 155er. Really tough to handle at 155. At 170, I wasn't sure the tools were going to translate. I wasn't sure he'd be strong enough. I wasn't sure he'd hit hard enough. Now, I will caveat just a little bit. Jack is a little chinny. Like he's got 5 KO losses now over the course of his career. He had just been knocked out by Hobo Cop right before this one, which, yeah, that guy hits like a truck. So I'm not sure if that was all Orolbai, right? Like that could have been some leftover brain damage from Gregory Rodriguez. So, man, this is a tough fight for me, because if Chris is still anything like he has been the last couple of years, I guess not the last couple of years, but 2 years ago, Chris is a handful for Orolbai. Tough to take down, attacks the body, good cardio. Like, Orolbai might run into a brick wall here because he's a natural 155er, not a natural 170 pounder. And Chris is strong enough to handle guys at 185. If this was 2 years ago, I'm clicking plus 220 and I'm not even thinking about it, Brandon. The problem is I like both guys, and I think Orolbai's ceiling is way high, whereas Chris is getting older. He's my guy. His skills are still there, but he is slowing down a bit, and he got knocked out for the first official time, right? And like a couple fights ago. So it's like that changing of the guard moment. I don't ever want minus 270 against Chris Curtis. And when the spreads come out, I think a spread play on Chris Curtis is a decent move here, because he might lose another split decision here. You know what I mean? If this goes the distance, I've got a hard time saying he doesn't win round 3 at least. So a dog or pass? I need to see what kind of shape Chris is in. I want to see these guys face off with each other and see how they size up on Friday. So I've got some questions still, but lean dog or pass here, man. What about you?
This is, I kind of had the same thoughts of you. And then I think back on all the times I've picked Chris Curtis. All the times I've picked Chris Curtis.
It's been a rough ride.
In my mind, he cannot be taken down. He's like floats on air, and then he's rolling and he's throwing these boxing. Because I was there live when he knocked out Buckley, and it was amazing. And I thought, okay, Curtis is the guy. Unfortunately, then when he fought Imavov, and Imavov's just taking him down with a slight breeze, this illusion that I had in my mind where he's defending 20 takedowns from Rodolfo Vieira, it went away pretty quickly. And then I just look at this. I mean, you're going split decision with Max Griffin. Max Griffin, he's the ultimate little engine that could. He has zero skills. He's just an athletic guy that's in there trying really hard. And Chris Curtis can't separate from this guy. Now you have, and he's almost 40 years old. Now you have Orolbai, who, first of all, is the best wrestler by far. And I'm talking technique-wise. Rombeski is good, but he's more a jiu-jitsu guy and just kind of a power and aggro guy. Orolbai can actually wrestle. He's got phenomenal finesse takedowns and power takedowns. And his striking is coming a long way. And he's got an incredible gas tank. Like, even in the Rombeski fight, they pushed each other to the brink, and he's still fighting hard. I love Chris Curtis. I think he's got an amazing game. He's so confident in what he does. You know, he knows he's going to defend takedowns, and he can ease into the fight. I think you put Chris Curtis in a sparring session with anybody, he does phenomenal. But I think right now it's the young Lion's turn. Chris Curtis is almost 40. He's moving back down a weight class. We rarely see that go well. And I thought maybe one of his big advantages at being at 85 is he was so skilled and talented. He could defend based on just his skills, but then everyone else wears down because they're really trying to get after him. And that's when he takes over. But down at 170, now he's got to cut weight again. He better be running, but he's got to cut weight. That could play out later, especially if he ends up on the ground. I like Orolbai. I think he's just too big, too strong. I think he's a good striker, but most of all, his chain wrestling, I think, is beautiful. I like Orolbai here.
Okay. And that's, yeah, man, that's why on this one, my heart is involved, right? I like both of these guys. I've still got that fan in me. I have a hard time separating. I can see a clear path for Chris Curtis, and I've sold myself wolf tickets more than once trying to put money on him in some of these fights. Now, to be fair, go back to the second Brendan Allen fight, bro, he won that fight. Like, I will die on that hill. He won that fight. That was a robbery. And Brendan Allen was looking for the exit in round 5 of that fight. So
I totally agree. But Clayton, one last thing to look at is none of these guys are good wrestlers. Like,
yes,
Brendan Allen's a good he's a very talented grappler, but he makes so many mistakes. And we saw that play out so many times in that fight. And you look at a guy like Max Griffin, again, he's a power blast double guy. Kopylov doesn't wrestle. Barry Alt just had a striking fight with him. And Mava beat his ass. And then Kelvin is, fat and he doesn't wrestle. So, I mean, this is the first time we're going to see him against a grappler. I have a feeling we see kind of like Holloway and Oliveira from last weekend.
Yeah, I could see it, man. I could definitely see it. And you call Kelvin Gastelum fat, by the way. Dude, he is so short. Like, I ran into the guy. He's tiny. I'm like, how does it's
Are
insane.
You okay? You ran into him. Are you okay?
I know, it was like hitting a brick wall, man, or like stubbing my toe on a stool or something.
No, it's like when you go to the lake and they have that giant inflatable thing and you sit on one end, someone jumps off the other and it shoots you into the air. He's like a human blob.
He's dense, dude. It's crazy. I have no idea how he's built that way. It's so wild. Oh, man. Okay. Gotta love Arizona. All right, guys. Speaking of Arizona, next up, Brad Tavares and your boy, Eryk Anders. We got a battle of aging veterans here between these two guys. Eryk Anders is 38 years old now, and you've got Brad Tavares, who is matching him at 38 years old as well. Tavares is 2-4 in his last 6 fights. He rebounded after getting knocked out by Gregory Rodriguez. Everybody's getting knocked out by Gregory Rodriguez. He had a very competitive fight with Park. He beat GM3. So he's kind of rebounding a little bit, but still struggling these days, right? But his whole thing has always been durability, toughness, can't take me down. So he'll whoop your ass over 15 minutes. And he's just been a guy that you can't touch. You guys, the last 5 fights, he's been knocked out 3 times. Now, Gregory Rodriguez, no problem. Robert Burchek, jury's out, I guess. He hits hard. I know that.
No, Burchek's
used up good.
No one gives Burchek respect. That guy can box his ass off. He's good.
Yes, he can. Yes, he can. And he's got good supplements. But he also was claimed by Bruno Silva. Now, that one, I think it was a bit of an early stoppage. He was like popping back up after it happened. That was before Bruno fell off a cliff career-wise.
Bruno used to be the man, too. He used to be so good. I loved Bruno.
I loved Bruno, too. He was awesome, man. I liked him a lot for a while there.
No one recovers from the GM3 curse. Nobody.
It's true. GM3
even Rainier. Look at what happened to Rainier.
Oh, don't remind me. Bro, he was in that fight. I pulled the trigger. I decided to go with it. And worst 30-27 ever. How did Kyle win round 2? Like, in what world did Kyle ever win round 2? Right guy won the fight. He won round 3, obviously. But it should have been a clear 29-28. That one pissed me off. I hate judges. Anyway. So, Brad Tavares, we know exactly what we're dealing with. Eryk Anders. Man, he's a friend of the show. Like, I follow him on TikTok and stuff like that. He follows me back. We've talked in person.
Isn't he the funniest guy ever? He's so funny.
He's funny. I like him a lot. He's a really nice guy. And he moonlights out at Arizona. He has like his whole career. So bumped into him a couple of times. He's a really great dude. He also is one of these guys that struggled with sobriety for a while and got clean. He's been working super hard on his grappling. So like that was his big focus for the last couple of years of his UFC career. He was a little too slow for some of these strikers. They talk about his power. He's so strong. He's so explosive. Like he never really knocked anybody significant out. So he's big.
Are you
he's tough
kidding me?
and
You think
strong.
Kyle Dawkins is not significant? He's
Well,
fighting on the White House.
Let's be real. That one, what the fuck happened to Kyle Dawkins? Like Kyle Dawkins is who I want to be when I grow up. That man turned his life around in 9 months. He went from nobody on the regional scene to fighting on the White House lawn in 9 months. Insane what Kyle Dawkins has done. But yeah, so I guess in hindsight, I got to change that, right? Like Kyle Dawkins is somebody. That's a notable knockout.
He's the man. He's the man.
He's the man. But he got Chris Weidman out of there. Weidman is old and busted as it gets at this point. But now Eryk got knocked out by CLD in his last fight. There was just an athleticism gap there. He's slow now, man. He's lumbering. It's like that scene in Rocky, the new one, Rocky 6 or whatever. They're gonna focus on blunt force trauma. He's like, your knees are old. You can't run. Like he just starts lifting, put all that muscle on, man. Like that's Eryk Anders at this point. He wants to take people down, get on top of them, grind, and put that physicality to use. He can't shoot for 15 minutes. I don't think he's going to be able to out-grapple Brad Tavares more than 2 rounds, man. And this one kind of worries me because I think Brad will be able to get back to his old self in this fight. You know, you shuck 1 or 2 takedowns. Eryk will throw a couple of big shots. You either defend or avoid those. And then it's just going to be volume. It's just going to be nonstop pace coming back from Brad Tavares. Like, you guys, this is where, and again, I may make bad picks, but I'll tell you when I'm biased. I'm biased. I like Eryk Anders. I don't want to piss this guy off. He follows me. I'm picking Brad Tavares, and I think it's cheap. Minus 135. Like, I think Brad wins this fight, and I think he makes it look easy, Brandon.
Easy.
Like I think Eryk is going to be out of gas halfway through round 2, and he's going to have no answer.
So, okay, can I tell you a funny story about Anders first? Okay.
All the funny stories.
I love Anders. So, first of all, people that I don't think know this, Santino told me this. I've never verified, so maybe you guys can do this in the comments. But apparently, he's a brown belt world champion in jiu-jitsu.
Oh, really?
When he went to fight Muniz, Santino goes, "This is crazy. No way Muniz will submit him. Not a chance." Round 1 goes upside down and submits him. It was crazy. But I was watching this fight, and same thing. I'm thinking, okay, Tavares is super old. He's super washed. And what is Tavares' number 1 weapon out of everything that he has?
His jab?
No, come on. What's his number 1 weapon? What did he do to Weidman? Yeah, it's his low kicks. Yeah. Well, right off the bat, because Anders is a southpaw, that's nullified. It's gone. So then I was like, okay, well, let's see when Briszczek would switch stances, when he would go southpaw, then what happens? I don't think that Tavares is very good at fighting southpaws. However, Anders, every time he starts southpaw, he just eventually squares up, and he's just completely in front of you. I do think Anders hits hard. I do think Anders can hurt him. I think Anders can put a stop to him, and I think his hands are a big, big difference because Tavares is a mover and a kicker these days. But even in the Briszczek fight, as soon as he got hurt, he started firing back these 1-2s, and that's actually what gave me confidence that he can win this fight. I think his lateral movement, having Anders chase him, and the other thing about Anders is he doesn't cut the cage off very well. He follows guys. I think Tavares has been in the sparring rounds with so many people. This fighting is a second nature to him, where I think Anders is starting to move out of fighting, obviously, into real estate. He's got a ton of houses and investment properties and this and that. I think that Tavares still wants to be there. And he won't make it, but I think in his mind, he believes he can still be a champion. I think they're just 2 different people in 2 different places. I think it's a very close fight. I actually think it's going to go the distance. But I think that Tavares is a little bit sleeker, a little bit sharper, a little bit more invested. All right, now for the Anders story. The night before I won the money, I don't know if you remember this or you're watching the show at the time, I told everybody, tomorrow is the day I'm going to win $1 million. I told everybody.
I actually didn't know. You and I hooked up after you won the money. That was how I got introduced to you. Is I was like, who is this guy that like? I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I called my shot. Like, if you ever go back and watch the podcast for like 3 months, I was like, as soon as I win the money, I'm buying a farm in Argentina. So if you thought I was a lot on the podcast, I was at the gym saying the same shit. Like, I called my mom, I called my jeweler, I called all my teammates, and I was like, hey, today is the day. And so I'm at the gym with Anders, and we're sitting there, and he goes, hey, homie. And this is like the first time we ever talked. He goes, heard you like to bet. I was like, yeah. He goes, you think you could put something in for me? So, no problem. I got you. So I told him, I said, hey, you're a UFC athlete. You can't have an account. So I think at the time he was married. He goes, no problem. I'll send you my girl's account. Well, he never ended up texting me at all. Never texted me the whole night. I get $1 million in my DraftKings account. He sees me at the gym the next day, and I said, what happened to you? Didn't you want to win some money? Oh, no, man. I was at the strip club. he missed out on $1 million to hit the strip club. So I'm glad Eryk Anders, he got his life right. Is he at the MMA lab, or does he go back in Alabama?
You know what? I think he's on the road. I don't know that he is.
I haven't seen him at the lab. I haven't seen any pictures of him at the lab. And I think that's a major difference. If he was at the lab, we're having a different discussion. If he's in Alabama, he's training with mostly amateurs. I think it's his gym. Maybe. Yes. I could be making this up.
So that's the thing. He's at the pictures I see from him and everything he posts on TikTok. Now, his big thing is his own gym. He's got Yo Boy Fitness Academy. I'm not seeing anything outside that.
Yeah. His boy Quadarius is there. And that's not a made up name. That's a real name. I think I like Tavares here as well.
Yeah, man. I want that Anthony Smith level delusion, right? You think you can still be champion? Lock that cage door behind you.
The Chris Weidman level delusion.
Yeah, that one too. Oh my Lord. Which that man, I respect fighters so much. They're literally built different, because that's the kind of shit that I sit back and I'm like, yo, I still got something here, man. I'm like, I could still do something here. And then you have like one or two bad days, and it's like, never mind, man. I'm fucking old. My back hurts. We're not doing this no more.
It's too much work. Let's go back.
No, we're not doing that. Give me some Reese's Pieces. All right, guys. We both are liking. Unfortunately, we're both liking Brad Tavares, and I think -135 is a good price, man. Miro in the chat apparently doesn't know. He says Brandon won $1 million late to the party. Yeah, man. That's Brandon legitimately is the man who broke DraftKings. So I don't know. Do you want to tell the brief version of the story? Because
I mean, it's nothing crazy. They just came out with some soft lines, and we just got lucky and put them all together. But
yeah,
there was a lot of funny stories that came out of that. And at the time, I knew exactly it was going to happen. I told everybody. Yeah, that's it.
It was crazy, though. Absolutely nuts.
Anders could have made the $1 million and said he spent it at the strip club. And that's why, gentlemen, you stay out of the strip club and you stay reading books.
There's other reasons, but that one for sure. I mean, how are you ever going to hit the big one if you're, throwing ones at strippers? Throw those ones at darts instead. Gamble, baby. Let's go. Right. Next up, Bruno Silva takes on Charles Energy Johnson, another friend of the show. And I got to tell you guys, as friend of the show, Charles Johnson, like what the fuck, man? Like I am the biggest Charles Johnson supporter ever since he made it to the UFC. And I literally cannot get this right, Brandon. I have tried so many times. He makes it to the UFC, and I'm like, you guys watch. You watch. This guy's going to be fucking good. He's got good cardio. He's a good striker. He cooks people late in fights. He's got good submissions. When people get tired, he's going to be... And then he goes immediately on a 3-fight losing streak. Ode Osborne, Cody Durden, Rafael Esteban, 3-fight losing streak. And I'm like, oh my God, like, was I just wrong? Was I just like so wrong about everything I saw with this guy getting to the UFC? So then somehow I talked myself into going the other way, right? I like Azat Maxim, so I bet him. I like Jake Hadley, so I bet him. I like Josh Van. Nobody out cardio's Josh Van, so I bet him. And all of a sudden I'm losing money the other way. Now I'm like, what the fuck, Charles? Like, I told everyone how great you were. You lose when I'm betting on you. He flips his entire life around and starts costing me the other way. So I cool off. I'm like, you know what? Something's weird here. I can't get him right. I'm just going to cool off. And so finally, his last couple of fights, I'm like, I'm not sold on this Loner Kavanaugh kid. I'll pull the trigger. So we got one. I'm like, all right, we're back on track. We're on the same page.
And you got so lucky there too. You got so lucky.
So lucky. In hindsight, got so lucky. And then he gets nuked by Alex Perez in the first round. Then I'm just like, oh my God, like what are we doing? So I'm really struggling because Charles Johnson has every skill in the book. He's got two of the biggest KO feathers in his caps of all time. Loner Kavanaugh and Josh Van are going to go on to be goats of this weight class. And this man knocked them both out, but he's not going to make it to contender status himself because he keeps running into people along the way and drops the ball in these spots where, like, he's so skilled, man. He's so talented, and I can't bet him anymore because I keep losing money no matter which way I go. Bruno Silva, we've always talked about it, is the Timu version of Henry Cejudo. Oh, he's got the exact same style, good strong wrestling, good jiu-jitsu, karate, explosive striking. One of the few guys at this weight class that just has that God-given insane power. 35 years old, this little dude knocks people the fuck out. And if he doesn't, he clubs and subs you instead. Like, you go back to that Cody Durden fight, and actually, I'm prepared for this one. You go back to the Cody Durden fight.
Silva lands a huge right, and now Durden in big trouble. Oh my goodness!
Cody's just trying to survive.
It's close to the end. There it is! Wow! What a comeback for Bulldog!
He got his ass whooped for 6 straight minutes and then caught him with an uppercut, flipped the entire story around. He's got crazy power at this weight class, man. I got to worry about Charles Johnson's chin, guys. The way he's coming back after getting nuked by Perez, signed on the dotted line immediately. Like, he's one of these guys that's got to get it back. He's got to get that bad taste out of his mouth. When he went on that bad losing streak back in 2023, he came out and talked about it. He was like, I wasn't healthy. I wasn't good. And I had to keep fighting. I just kept on coming instead of taking the time off from my body. And he lost again. And he lost again. And like, he just kept doing it because he wanted to get back in there. He wanted to get back in there and win. And that's what he's doing here. He got caught, got knocked out, but he wants to get back in there. He's turning around in 3 months, coming right back for another fight with another big powerhouse in this weight class. I want to believe that Charles Johnson wins this fight, Brandon. I know he's got the skills to win this fight, but Bruno is the kind of guy that you cannot look past. He's too well-rounded. He's too good. He's got too much power. He's not a guy that you can just dismiss and be like, meh. So Charles Johnson being a minus 200 favorite in this spot after just getting knocked out, taking on a guy in Bruno who we know can crack. I want to say Charles Johnson decision. I think Charles is going to work his way to a decision, avoid the big power shot, but I'm scared shitless he's going to get caught again, man.
Yeah, you should be. And I guess I'm a good person to speak on this. Is Bruno still at Fight Ready?
Yeah, I just saw them post today, actually. He's back at Fight Ready.
Well, usually I would say that's horrible. And the reason that I say that, he's been back at Fight Ready for some time because he was still there a few months ago and I was there. Nobody's left at Fight Ready. Nobody's left there. I mean, you saw what happened to Zell Huber. You saw what happened to Korean Tiger, can't make weight. I feel really bad since Santino left, and I haven't been in since Santino left. There's nobody left. Everybody went to the lab. So Bruno's in there actually training with our other old teammate. I'm actually wearing his shirt. Shout out to Evgeny, the Juminator. But they're bringing him over for sparring. So he just doesn't have day-to-day guys because Evgeny trains at the lab now. All of our guys moved over to the lab. So Bruno is just there getting mitts held for him and just chilling and training on his own. That's a big issue for me. Mm-hmm. You know, before he had Henry and he had all these guys and every day he's running through camp. He improved a lot that way. I have had so many rounds with Bruno. Bruno's a good striker, man. He's a really, really talented striker. He has this combo. We always call it the Bruno combo. It's like a step off, feint left hand, like a feint jab, and then boom, cracks. And that's how he hurts guys. And he has great timing on uppercuts. He legitimately hits very hard, and he touches the body a lot. And, you know, I think who could bet Charles at this number? This is an insane number. Even if he wasn't coming off a knockout, I think this is an extremely close fight because Charles is good, and he's super tall, and he's got good cardio. But remember, he's amazing against guys that slow down, guys that try to come out and kill him, and when they can't, now they're just getting touched. But Bruno's a patient striker. He'll calf kick a lot. He hits very hard calf kicks. He has great front kicks to the body. He rips the body. He's constantly touching the body. And when I watched Charles' last fight, the scariest part for me was not even that like he got knocked out. It was how exhausted he looked, like from the opening bell. I mean, Perez came out and started lighting him up, and then Charles just, every shot was putting him down.
Dude, Perez was a wild man that night. That was the most reckless start to a fight I think I've ever seen. That was insane.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe Perez was hurt, and he said, I have one chance to win this fight, and that's it. But now Charles is coming back off short notice. Bruno's a patient striker, and he's a very skilled striker. I mean, I can't talk about what I've seen in the gym, but he's done some good things to some really, really, really good people. I mean, Bruno KO has to be on the table. Bruno Moneyline has to be on the table. I know he does get taken down, and that's the only way I can survive. but he does work back up, and his jiu-jitsu is actually really, really good too. It's hard for me to, I think it's dog or pass in this fight. I think Bruno can really, really hurt Charles, especially if Charles comes out as gassed as he did in the last fight, he's still hurt, or if he's gun shy. That's the other thing, is fresh off a knockout. Bruno, before I got knocked out recently, the only person who had ever dropped me before in my entire career was Bruno. And it was that same thing. I didn't feel it. He's got such good power. I like Bruno on the spot.
Okay. And I was tempted to lean that way myself. I'll probably take the coward's way out, you guys. I'll probably look at a spread bet here for Bruno, just in case, because it probably is a close fight. And then obviously if he wins by knockout, you're covered. I'll give up a little bit of value for the +3.5 in this kind of a spot, but it is tough. The biggest red flag for me is Charles coming back quickly after that KO loss.
They both have red flags. I mean,
they do.
What's Bruno doing at camp? Bruno wants to move to American Top Team again. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's a lot of weird transition. My best advice would be pass on the fight and bet it live if you see something. But there's too many red flags on both sides, I feel like.
That's probably good advice here on this one, man, for sure. And yeah, the lab is just on a rocket ship right now, taking off, which I'm glad you touched on that kind of stuff too, because I've been team fight ready since I met you guys. You know what I mean? Since I linked up with you and Santino, it was like, oh, like you guys are local, Arizona, like those are my boys. We're gonna cheer on team fight ready. But it really does seem like it's kind of collapsing without Santino. So I didn't want to say anything, but Bruno being back at fight ready was a good thing when he came back. And now I'm like, now
Clint, let me tell you this, it wasn't even a good thing when he came back either.
Oh, really?
The gym is it's just gone through so many cycles, right? There was a time where we were super close, and then there was a time where all the clicks came in, and then everyone leaving Vegas. So then there would be this camp over here and that camp over there. The times of the old days when we all trained together and then only Henry had a super camp, but everyone would still get work. Those days are gone. All our Mongolians left. Everybody's gone. So it's a very interesting time in Arizona mixed martial arts right now. Unless you're from the lab, I would say probably pass for a little bit.
Good to note. Good to note. All right, guys, quick break on that one here. Check out Spectation Sports, especially if you need more MMA action. Hey, LFA is on Spectation Sports now, you guys. You can watch the prelims for every LFA event on Spectation Sports. I believe they've got an event on Friday this week. They're expanding. They're scooping up other regional shows. So a lot of these guys coming off Dana White's Contender Series, they're going to be on Spectation. You're going to need this platform to do your tape study. And if you're just an animal and you want some more MMA action, check it out. Promo code DIEHARD, 20% off when you sign up. Link is in the description below. Please go and check them out. I am joined by Brandon Olivas, one of my favorite people to break down fights with. MMA fighter experience, former member of Team Fight Ready. One of the best guys I know, talking UFC Vegas 114. Make sure you check him out. Also, make sure you check out their YouTube channel. He breaks it down with coach or ex-coach Santino every single week. Description below. You can find his Twitter handle as well as their YouTube channel. So make sure you guys are supporting them. Hit that like button. Subscribe. There's over 350 of you live in here. Let's keep it rolling. Next up, Vitor Petrino takes on Steven Asplund. And he's my new favorite fighter, Brandon. Asplund is freaking awesome. This guy looks like a bag of milk, but it's because he blew up and he got his shit together and he got in shape. He cut his way down from heavyweight, and he's got all that flabby extra skin on him because he saved his own life finding MMA. I love that story. I love people who turn their lives around and get that kind of thing going. Turns out he's really good at fighting after he got in shape. So he's 27 years old. He's 1-0 so far in the UFC, 4-fight win streak, all by knockout. Dude's got hands. He's fun. He's funny. He cracks jokes at his own expense. He's got nice elbows when he transitions in close. Honestly, he feels like a big, hairy Trevor Peek to me. He's a wild man in the cage. He's tough. He got chin checked against Sean Sheriff in his last fight, where he took a couple of big bombs from him and looked like he wobbled a couple times, but he stayed in there and he turned around. He just melts people. So I like Steve Asplund a lot, just generally speaking. He's going to be a fun guy to watch in the UFC. Vitor Petrino, 13-2, 28 years old, 2-2 in his last 4 fights, 2-win streak, both by way of finish. This guy is so big. He's big. He's thick. He decided, I don't want to cut weight to go down to 205 anymore, and he's just an absolute refrigerator at heavyweight. It's the most insane body transformation I've ever seen. Somehow, all of the weight cut down to 205 came from his waist. He stopped cutting weight, and he's like a brick now, man. He's a complete square. He's nasty on the ground. He transitioned from being a guy who likes to really bang it out on the feet to really leaning into his grappling and his jiu-jitsu. One question, though, not a question. He's like wrapped up his hand all since his last fight. His right hand is like wrapped up on different social media and things like that he's been posting. Maybe he filmed a bunch of stuff and then is just like posting it out now, but there's a very real chance that he's got a hurt and or broken right hand leading up to this fight, you guys. So just a thought, something you might want to kind of look at a little bit, because your hands make it tough to grapple. You know, it makes it hard to grip. It makes it hard to punch. So he could be at a little bit of a disadvantage coming into this fight. We don't want to assume anything, but it looks like there's a little bit of something going on there. Steven Asplund seems like the new hotness right now. The UFC likes him a lot, but Vitor Petrino seems like the type of guy they want to build. You know what I mean? He seems like a long-term prospect, a guy who's like a maybe future contender. So bring him along, give him guys he can beat, that kind of thing. Guys, I love Steve Asplund, but I kind of think concrete might be a splash in the pan. He can win this fight absolutely by knockout. His only loss is by sub. I think Vitor's going to be able to take him down, Brandon. I fully expect Vitor to go to the grappling in this fight, and I'm not sure Steve's going to be able to get this giant, massive man off of him to be able to get back up to the feet where he needs to be to get the fight done. So Vitor Petrino, maybe by submission, Vitor by decision. Those are kind of the ways that I would be looking here in this fight. But I will tell you guys, I will be rooting my ass off for Steve.
Yeah, I agree. I really want Steve to win. I thought, like, on Contender Series, Petrino was amazing. Like, the way that he would pull and counter when he was pretty, like, sleek and mobile. And you're right, he's getting, like, so big now. My concern with Petrino is that he's almost too big and too rigid and too slow. The thing that I actually really like about Asplund, as big as he is, he's very fluid with his game. Like, he strikes like a little guy. He puts a ton of volume, and he is down to bang. Unfortunately, I do feel the same way, as Petrino's going to go to the grappling quite a bit. But who knows if Petrino can maintain that pace. I mean, he beat Austin Lane and Thomas Peterson. And I actually decently like Peterson. I think he's not as bad as people say that he is. And that's Asplund's main training partner, right? So he knows, I mean, I think Peterson's a better wrestler than Petrino, right? I mean, just pure wrestling. I think he's been working with Thomas Peterson a lot. He knows what's going to come. He knows the takedowns are going to be there. He's got great cardio. I mean, he goes deep into fights and throws the same amount. Was it Billy Ray Valdez? And he's throwing hammers the whole time. I think Asplund is super, super live here. I mean, Petrino at any point can become disinterested and just let the fight come out of him. But I think the grappling's a big deal. So for me, I would pass on this fight altogether. I would take Asplund or pass, but I think it's a good fight to watch live. I mean, if you see Petrino slowing down, the start of round 2, I think are good times to hit Asplund because, you know, Asplund's going to keep a pace. And if he can stay upright, I think he's going to get hit big early, but I think he can wear him down death by a million cuts. So, I mean, true pick, I'm going to go Petrino. I think he's going to get the win, but I think Asplund's extremely live. The round 2-3 knockout, I think, is there. He's going to force a pace that I think not a lot of heavyweights are ready for.
Yeah, the pace he keeps is super fun at heavyweight. And, like, we already saw what happened when Petrino gets extended, man. I know Dustin Jacoby is world-class, and we can't necessarily say that for Asplund, but you can break this guy down, tire him out, and then find his chin later in the fight. So, he's got a shot. He's got a shot to pull it off. So, live bet.
This is a good comment right here. This one that says, the problem with stick and move guys, versus they have to plant versus grapplers, and that's a great point. The second you go in to try to kill someone, you have to plant your feet, and then it's just one time to go off balance. That's a great point. Yep.
Good call, Tiger. I like it. All right, guys. So we're picking the favorite. Dog or pass, maybe betting. Pass or pass, maybe betting. Hopefully Steven Asplund keeps this train rolling.
America!
Next up, we've got Marwan Rahiki. Freaky. All right. Taking on Harry Hardwick coming in here in this spot. And I gotta roll this one back for you guys. I gotta remind you a little bit about Harry Hardwick.
Already, I mean, we didn't even get through the first round, and Hardwick just, rolling around in pain. And he tried. Credit to him for really trying to push through it as best he can. But I gotta say, Calway Fernandez probably has some of the most dangerous calf kicks in the game right now.
15th leg kick finish in UFC history.
The only guy to ever get carted out of the UFC cage in a wheelchair. Like, he filled in on short notice from Cage Warriors, got his leg beaten to death in that fight. Just filthy, man. I mean, Hardwick was a guy that I didn't think a whole lot of, to be honest with you, Brandon. He seems like he seems like a tough guy who trains with Bryce Mitchell. Like, one of these psychopaths that just wants to keep on coming forward and doesn't really do a whole lot right, but kind of melts you with pace and pressure and toughness and keeps getting in your face. I don't know that he's a UFC caliber fighter, but short notice up at 155, he had no answers for Cowie Fernandez, and it took him less than a round to get chopped down. Now he's getting a shot here at 145, so he's in his proper weight class. We'll see how that goes for him. But overall, Hardwick, not a guy I was super excited about in the first place. Now, his opponent, Marwan, 23 years old, is coming off Dana White's Contender Series, 100% finish rate. This guy comes from Hex fighting champion. He's got 6 knockouts. He's tall. He's long. He's really rangy. Dude, he's got tall man defense. He's got really bad tall man defense. His Dana White's Contender Series fight was entertaining as hell. Both guys got dropped twice. It was just a back and forth mess of a fight. It was really fun to watch. He's got good counters, I'll be honest with you, but it doesn't look like he's super physical. He's kind of like a baby giraffe where he's super spindly and long. People can kind of bully him in the cage. He throws a lot of spinning shit, which, good or bad, maybe, not sure. I guess depends on whether or not it lands. The guy he was fighting on Dana White's Contender Series gave him the stanky leg. I mean, he was almost out of there twice. I worry about the tall man's defense, the lack of any defense from this guy. When he's the one in the driver's seat, he's nasty. Got good calf kicks, which could be a problem against Hardwick in this fight. He's got good elbows. He's got good knees, good pace, good pressure. So seems like a good bully in there. But if you've got some good ability to counter and if you can find his head, he doesn't defend well, man. Maybe that's something that he can develop. He's only 23 years old, but it's tough for me to get super excited about this kid leading into this fight right now. You've got Rahiki as a decent sized favorite over Hardwick here, minus 250. Brandon, I don't trust this kid at minus 250. Watching him wobble twice the way he did on Contender Series, there's no way I'm laying minus 250 in this spot. But I'm not putting my money on Hardwick. I'm not putting on the guy money on the guy in the wheelchair. Like, I'm sorry. Watching him getting calf kicked that quickly in this fight, knowing Rakiki's got that in his toolbox, it's a complete stay away from me. I will pick Marwan, but I don't really like it.
Yeah, I looked at this fight. I've been a big Harry Hardwick guy for many, many years in Cage Warriors. And I love his style personally because it's kind of how I fight. Just walk forward, no defense, parry a couple punches, and then you just stay in the face. It worked really well in Cage Warriors, especially when you can handpick your opponents. You get guys that slow down. You get guys that have a big initial pop and then they tire. It's really easy to break guys down. Now, the thing I do like is he definitely has body work, just like his brother. They work the body really well. They punch in combination really well. The biggest issue is, you're right. I think no matter how many skills Harry Hardwick gets, he's not going to be UFC caliber. And it's purely on his athleticism and fight style. That style is really good on regionals. It's awesome. You're going to have wars, entertaining fights. You probably get signed to the UFC. But in the UFC level, this kid, Marwan, Rahiki, they like this kid. This kid is going to be good. I think he's very, very talented, even on the Contender Series fight, because I just watched it. Listen, the way that African is built and the way that Harry Hardwick is built, you couldn't come as far away if you even tried to. I mean, one guy is short and stocky and built like a refrigerator. The other guy is like a pasty grandma, an English pasty grandma. I don't blame Rahiki for getting hit by that bomb. Anybody would get rocked by it. I mean, that's normal. That's part of fighting, right? To say, oh, you got rocked. I mean, no one would ever trust Ilya again because what's his name? Head kicked him and sent him into the next dimension, right? So I don't think you can hold that stuff against. I think every fight has to be fight by fight, right? I just don't think Harry Hardwick has the firepower. And it would be one thing if Rahiki really didn't move much, but he's got insane lateral movement. He really moves his body well. I think he's a good mover. He's a great kicker, really good puncher, great instincts, great reaction time. Maybe there's some times in this fight where Harry does get close and beats on the body or puts a combination together. But overall, I think Harry never moves his head. That's the thing, is he does a lot of stuff with his hands and with his shoulder and with the feints, but his head is always on the center line. Now you have Rahiki. I believe he's taller, right? Isn't he taller than Harry?
Actually, I looked it up, and because that was something that I wondered about this fight. They are supposed to be the same height. And Hardwick, I believe, is supposed to have a 1-inch reach advantage. So,
yeah,
like,
1 inch is not so crazy, but in my mind, Rahiki's a little bit taller, but he's just so fast and so dynamic. And you can just tell the guys who really striking is a second language versus a guy like Hardwick, who, again, is the little engine that could. He's going to absorb everything, parry, and then he starts to break you down over time. Rahiki looks a little different to me than a guy like Luke Fernandez, where Luke will break down because of the defense. Rahiki showed that he can come back from adversity and win that fight. I like that about Rahiki. He doesn't seem like he gets discouraged. He's a very competent striker. I think in hindsight, maybe this line will look wide because Rahiki could be a star. I think the fade is definitely coming, for sure. But I don't know if it's this fight. I like Rahiki here.
You need that body type. You need that short, compact, muscle monster type of guy to combat that, because you need the one-hitter quitter. Paper cuts aren't going to do it. So but
exactly.
Picking Rahiki, we'll see what happens. Next up, you guys, we got Andre Touchy Fili taking on Jose Delgado. And Brandon, I don't know what to do with Andre Fili anymore, man. Always the bridesmaid, right? Alternating wins and losses. Brutal knockout loss against Dan Ige. Split decision win over Cub. I thought Cub won that fight. Choked out by Costa in, call the FBI. Like,
yeah, that was bad, man.
I don't know what I have shortchanged Costa his whole career. I didn't really see it. I bet him once or twice early on when no one really knew who he was. And then as soon as he got popular, I was like, I don't think he's that good. He is on a freaking rocket ship right now and just keeps winning. But the Fili fight was the one that I kind of held against him because I was like, that wasn't real. There's no way Fili just let you like sit up and let you take his neck like that. That didn't actually happen. Somebody had money on the sub prop. So weird fight. And then the split decision with C-Rod, who was massively small in that fight. That's like, you're going life and death with a guy who belongs a weight class below you, which I love C-Rod. I know how good he is, but like should be a weight class down. Again, I just held all these things against Costa. So I don't know what to do with him in hindsight. I don't know what to do with Andre Fili at this point. He's tricky. He's long. He's rangy. He has moments in round one of every single fight. Almost knocked out Nathaniel Wood in round one. Like this guy goes for it early. And then it's like, I don't know if he just doesn't have that deep of a toolbox or what, but fights get close when they get extended. Every time. Split decision with Bill Aljo. Split decision with Jourdain. Split decision with Dennis Bermudez. Like, he's just constantly in close fights. If he doesn't knock you out in round one, it's a split. And always. Every time. It's weird. And he's been knocked out a bunch of times and submitted a bunch of times. So he's been around forever. He is really starting to get into Anthony Smith status with the way like his body's probably breaking down after all this shit. So his opponent Delgado here, 10-2, 27 years old, training out of the lab. He's 2-1 off Dana White's Contender Series, and it feels like they want to fast track this kid. He lost the decision to Nathaniel Wood. He's violent. He starts fast. Connor Matthews, not a huge win, but he took him out the way you're supposed to. The way he flatlined Hyder Amil was insane. Amil, a guy who's been really tough. I know maybe a little overrated, but like this kid killed him. I like Delgado a lot. Just generally speaking, he's very fun to watch. He's very entertaining. I just -310, man. Oh my God. I can't with these price tags, Brandon. I can't. I think he wins this fight. And I think there's a reality where he can knock out a guy like Fili and then pay off this price tag. I like Delgado. I just don't like -300.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I think he wins fairly easily. First of all, he's a local at my coffee shop. We see him, Serafina Coffee. So, Delgado, when I see you next time, I got your coffee, no problem.
There you go.
I think he's talented, man. He's really good. He actually, the Wood fight was great for me to see. I picked Wood in that fight. I think Wood is one of the most talented guys in the world. I mean, skill for skill, the guy is phenomenal. And Delgado showed he can fight 15 minutes, and it was a close, competitive fight. I thought Wood clearly won the fight. But the kid is so good. I mean, he does everything well. I mean, the biggest concern in this for me, I don't think standing he's going to have any issues. I think he's so much faster than Fili, and he's just sharper to the target. Fili, a lot of times when he throws, very wide on his shots, and he always has been. The one part I think of Fili's game that's pretty underrated is his grappling. He's got a great blast double. He's got actually some good jiu-jitsu. He does some really good things. I think Delgado's training with the best guys in the world at the lab, guys that try to take him down all the time. There's nothing that he hasn't seen. He's young. He's hungry. He has power. He's got speed. He's got cardio. Whatever it is at the lab that they're drinking, like those guys never get tired. I think Delgado is going to win easily, if not knock him out. But I could easily see a knockout.
Okay. You know, I might have been a little too timid on that one, man. The way you're talking, it makes sense. Like, he's young. He's at a good camp. He's in the right place. I was already high on him beforehand. I'm probably a little unnecessarily nervous for this fight.
You know, he does have a little chin issues, though. This is one thing I'll say is at the fight against Romo in the UFL, is that what it's called? He got rocked pretty bad by tomato can. So, I mean, this is the UFC level. I mean, he's been rocked by Nathaniel Wood, and he's been hurt in other fights. You know, there is something for maybe a Fili KO prop. But I think, you know, overall, I think Delgado's improving every day, and I think he should deal with Fili.
Well, and the thing is, if it doesn't come early, it's not happening. So you just got to survive the one round with Fili for whatever reason.
And also, you're right. I know C-Rod is a friend of the show. I hope, man, this motherfucker C-Rod. I remember, Clint, you got in the middle of us. We're beefing, and he won't come on our podcast, and we're not talking. And you send him a diehard MMA hat. I was like, oh, this guy.
I stole him. That's the beef. That's the origin.
he's too small, and you put that perfectly. He's a 35er. Now fought at 45 and had amazing moments against Fili. This is a different animal.
Yeah. He's gone dark for a while, man. I'm praying that he's working on dropping. I know his whole thing was he said that he's moving up permanently instead of going back down. I'm praying he realizes he needs to get back down because
I've told him that for 5 years. I told him that since we first met. I said, "You fat piece of shit, cut the weight, make 35. We're the same size, and I fight 25. This is ridiculous."
Dude, he's so fucking good. Like, I love that guy. He's so good. I hope he gets it back down a weight class. Either that or he shows up looking like Vitor Petrino in his next fight. One or the other. We'll see.
He's in Vegas now. Maybe we need to get him to ATT or
there we go. Move him out to ATT. Fill him up. Juice him. Let's go, boys. All right, everybody. Next up, we've got Oumar Sy, and he's taking on Ion Cutelaba, the Hulk. This is our grappler's delight of the evening here, Brandon. Oumar Sy, kind of a nasty offensive wrestling specialist here. He's big. 30 years old. 3-1. He got Minifield checked, right? I don't know why that keeps happening. Alonzo Minifield is the guy that keeps fraud checking these guys somehow. It's hilarious. But he's big. He's physical. Really long arms. He absolutely handled the kid in his debut. Very strong top position. Knows how to make you carry his weight. Tight squeeze on him. So I like Oumar Sy's overall grappling prowess, and he's taken on another like wrestling specialist in Ion Cutelaba, who's more of a wild man, 32 years old somehow. I thought he was older than that. He's been around forever. 3-3 in his last 6. Rough split decision loss in his last fight against Bukauskas. He won that fight, Brandon. He absolutely beat Modestas Bukauskas in that last fight. They robbed Ion blind. I could not believe it. He beat Ibo Aslan. Beat Ivan Urslan, like back-to-back, fraud check both those guys. Before that, he had a hard time with Felipe Lins, who for whatever reason is now fighting Francis Ngannou on the Ronda Rousey card. Did you not see that?
No.
They announced it like this morning. After the PFL dropped Francis Ngannou, they got him in there with Felipe Lins. They're co-headlining with...
What promotion is he fighting on?
It's Netflix. I don't know what promotion it is.
Not in the
Ronda
UFC.
Rousey fight.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah. Rousey and not Zingano. What's her name? Carano.
Interesting. Okay. Lots happening in the world. A lot is happening in the world.
Things are moving quick, man. You got to keep up. This is a crazy fight. A couple of wrestlers, a couple of grapplers. The thing is, I've seen Ion Cutelaba go to his back. Many, many moons ago. 2016. December 3rd, the Ultimate Fighter 24 finale. I was in Vegas for my birthday, and I watched this man fight Jared Cannonier live at the Rio. And Jared Cannonier put Ion Cutelaba on his back and made him play jiu-jitsu. This was on his way down to 185. So that memory has always stuck with me. Now, I know it's literally like 10 years ago, Brandon. I know it's like got no relevance on the current form of these fighters today, right? But we've seen Ion Cutelaba when he is not the bully, he flounders. This man legitimately is the best hammer, worst nail besides Cody Brundage I've ever seen. Like, if he's not in the driver's seat, he's not doing very well in the fight. Now, a guy like Modestas, where they struck it out for the most part for the fight, that's where he can be competitive. It's fine. But when you get a guy that can grapple him, he's in trouble. And he's given up chokes before. Johnny Walker submitted him. Ryan Spann submitted him. Kennedy Nzechukwu handled him back in the day too. So, like, I worry that Oumar Sy is just kind of a fresh-faced version of Ion Cutelaba. And when they get in there and really get after each other, I think C's going to find his way to top position. I feel like it'll be a competitive fight, and Oumar Sy's going to find a way to grease out a 29-28.
Yeah, I hate this guy. I hate Oumar. I hate him. I just think
Why? What did he do to you?
Well, where do you want to start? I mean, 5 years. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't like his style. I think like he just is just a big body that grapples. He doesn't. It's not like you're gonna tune in and you watch. Wow, look at his full counters and look at his check hook and the way his footwork. He's not amazing. He's very athletic. He climbs you like a little tree. I might have been the only one in the world that picked Menefield in that fight. I've never been big on this Oumar. I just think he's not very good. And, you're very convinced on him. And this is a fight that for me was a complete toss-up because...
Oh, not very convinced. I said grease it out. I squeezed one out.
Geez, I mean, Ion is... I think he's a better striker. And Ion's come a long way over his time, but he hits very hard. And he's actually, like, kind of technical now. Like, he moves his head. He counters well. I actually love his takedowns. I don't know. Him and Spivak, back when Spivak actually used to grapple, they have the coolest takedowns ever because they're Moldovan, right? So obviously they wrestle, but everything they do is always mixed with a foot trip or a hip toss. They do a lot of like really unique shit. So it gets you going one way and then it trips you back. It's just really, really cool, unique stuff I haven't seen before. And for me in this fight, I'm thinking about both grapplers. Again, I don't think Oumar is an amazing grappler. I think he's athletic and he big bodies you and he hugs you well, but I think his control is not amazing. I think there's so many parts missing from his game. And a guy like Ion, who's wrestled his entire life, I mean, I really just worry he's just going to counter him, sprawl hard on him, and he's so big and so strong. I mean, losing to Menefield isn't a great look. I think Cutelaba is better than Menefield, I would say. I mean, he's going to at least offensively wrestle. He still hits hard. They probably have the same cardio. Like, I don't know. I think this is a dog or pass. I don't really like Oumar. I think he probably will win. For the same reason you said, he's probably big and fast enough to get on top, and Ion's going to do some stupid shit. But, I mean, Oumar is going to win the fight. I know it's destined for him to win this fight. I just think he's not very good. I would love for Ion to win.
You can always count on Ion to do some stupid shit. That's like his thing.
Iwan.
Dude.
Okay. Someone said Iwan. I like this Tiger guy. Iwan.
Tiger's on top
Cutelaba.
of him. Dude, it's so funny. You guys may forget, he got disqualified. Remember when he fought Magomed and he faked being hurt so bad the ref waved it off? Like, you can
awesome
always...
Move, what a coward ref. That was an awesome move. Awesome.
It was great.
You ever see the old clip? What was it in Strikeforce? It was. I love Strikeforce. That was the greatest time of my life.
The good old days.
Who was the guy, fat little white guy, and he pretended to get hit in the stomach and then just wham, one punch the guy as he came in to finish.
Oh, I don't remember that. The one I remember is the Ultimate Fighter finale when the guy got his rib broken. He did exactly that, but it was real. Where like he got his rib busted by a body shot and then caught the guy running in to try to get the finish. That was on like a Fight for the Troops card in the UFC a long time ago.
This one is one of the best ones ever. Tiger, I know Tiger knows who I'm talking about. His name was like Sam or something. Just regular white guy.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Of a man by faking it. It was amazing.
That's hilarious. I'm gonna have to go find that clip. I'm absolutely gonna have to find that. But it makes it hard to bet on Ion guys just because he can always fuck it up. Like no matter what, he can always find a way to get disqualified or do something stupid. Or he got disqualified for illegal blows, knees on the ground, shit like that. So
That's the
He's
thing,
cooled
at least
off
with
the last
Oumar-
couple years.
Yeah, at least with Oumar, you know what you're going to get. I think he's not very good, but he knows how he has to win. I think that's ultimately why Oumar will win, because he knows what he has to do.
Yeah. Yep. And that's kind of where I'm sitting too. So we'll go with Oumar. Another spot where I'm rooting for the dog, though. I'm rooting for Ion to cause chaos.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Come on.
All right, guys, hit that like and subscribe button. We got just a couple more fights to get through, and then we'll let Brandon out of here. Co-main event of the evening, Amanda Lemos takes on my girl, Gillian Robertson, the Savage. And Brandon, I honestly never thought that we'd be here. Gillian is someone who I legitimately have been a fan of since she made it to the UFC. And all of the people who I'm a fan of are greasy, mangy underdogs. They never end up being contenders, right? They're always someone I got to root for. They always got to work harder than everybody because they're not God's gift to MMA, right? So I always kind of expect the people I'm super fans of to kind of flare out at some point. And when Gillian got knocked out standing by Macy Barber, I was like, oh yeah, that's a wrap. Like we're not gonna make it that much farther with this one. Even though I'm gonna cheer for her every step of the way, I was not expecting title contender. I didn't think she could make 115, Brandon. Since she dropped down to 115, girl's a beast. Like her grappling is so much better that she's got a physical strength advantage. Like we talked about, you guys, all you got to do is be tough and strong in women's MMA and you'll go far. So it's worked out real well for her since she dropped a weight class. Now she has added, ground and pound to her nasty submission game that she's got going. And she is a new monster at 115 pounds. My all-time favorite Gillian Robertson highlight is the 12-6 butthole elbow.
Not a few 12-6 elbows for good measure. Round 2 coming up.
It's a good move.
Dude, taking out Luana Pinheiro. My favorite part is at the end of it. You can hear her go, oh!
I can think of some guys that need their asses pounded, so I'm going to take that one back to the gym.
Hey, 12-6 are legal now, man. There's no problem. You can hit those anytime you want.
Hey, the solution, he found who I was talking about. Yeah, Scott Smith, Pete Sell, that's who it was.
Okay. All right. We're looking that up after the show. Amanda Lemos is 38 years old, a late bloomer. She found her way to the UFC late, and she's really made the best of it, man. Insane power in this woman's hands. She's got a tight squeeze on her. She has no problem jumping that gilly, but she still really has a hard time with the grappling, right? She was like white belt level when she made it to the UFC. And we're never going to outlive that standing arm triangle choke from Jessica Andrade, like shit that just should never happen in the UFC cage. And she's made some big progress since then, but she still struggles with these grapplers. Tatiana Suarez, Verna Jandiroba, Zhang Weilei. These are the women who really handle her. She has the one weird win over Mackenzie Dern in there when she's been just thrown to the wolves with these grapplers. Gillian doesn't like getting hit, and that's really kind of the big thing here, is that Amando's going to hit her in the mouth. And I hope she can get past that and drag this woman to the mat. Lemos is going to eventually slow down and get old, but at 38 with modern medicine, we're seeing fighters get to, 40, 41, 42 without much of a problem, without much of a fall off. I am worried about the power here, Brandon. Obviously, my heart says put all the chips in the middle. Let's go Gillian Robertson, the Savage herself. Get this win, get a title shot. I really want to root for her. She's minus 200. I'm scared shitless. Help me.
Yeah, I think she's going to win. And listen, I love Lemos. And even in the last fight, people get on my channel and they go, you're fucking dumbass. You're so stupid. You have no idea about fighting. Tatiana is going to kill Suarez or Lemos. And I'm like, no, that's not what's going to happen. And if that fight was 5 rounds, guess who's walking out of the cage? Only one of them, not Tatiana. And people just thought I was crazy, but I think Lemos has actually pretty good counter grappling. She's very good at lifting the hooks. She has the guillotine. She'll stand up. She has actually really good transitions. As she's falling to the ground, she'll hip high. She'll always come up on top. I think she's actually a very, very good grappler. That's why I picked her in that fight. Thought there was an argument for her to beat Tatiana. But this fight is very different for me. And it's purely based on how they grapple. And again, people are going to come to me and be like, you're so dumb. Tatiana is the greatest wrestler of all time. She would beat Chael Sanderson in a folk style match. And it's like, come on, you guys. Like, I've trained with Tatiana. I've seen Tatiana. Okay. Gillian, I think she's nowhere near the wrestler, so don't get me wrong on this one. But what she really does well is she'll grab a single leg and she'll start running head to the outside. When that doesn't work, she'll fight it back. She chain wrestles so well. But the biggest thing, and this is where I think is going to make the biggest difference, is Lemos takes a lot of risks. She'll jump for the guillotine. She'll make crazy sweeps. She'll do all these things. She'll lose positions on purpose. And the thing with Gillian is her jiu-jitsu is so phenomenal. I really think her jiu-jitsu is excellent. She's not going to give up these same positions that Tatiana did, right? She's not going to end up on her back like Tatiana did constantly off of one hook, right? She's really good at redirecting, finding the back, putting hooks in. I think you have a girl that's going to proactively grapple for 15 minutes hard. She's going to land big punches on top. Round one is going to be tough. So if you really want Gillian, I would say you could probably wait around, because I think Lemos could win the first round while she's fresh and she's clean. But eventually Gillian's going to work her way in with this stupid, silly volume, touch a leg, get her down. And then I think from there, I don't think Lemos is getting back up. And this is crazy because I love Lemos. I always go out on my shield for Lemos. I think this is just a bad style matchup. I guess similar to the John Jaroba matchup, right? John Jaroba is not an amazing wrestler, but once she gets you down, her control and her jiu-jitsu is phenomenal. And I actually think Gillian's a little bit more submission-oriented than John Jaroba is. John Jaroba is very good at control. So I like Gillian. I think she's going to beat up Lemos a lot from the top. And I think she's going to go back to her roots, though, on this one. I think she'll catch the submission.
Yeah, I think I'm with you there. She's very hard to finish with strikes, is Amanda Lemos. I think we get the old throat cuddles, right? I think we get the back take, the rear naked choke. Man, I want to see Gillian do well so bad. I know the meme is that I'm in love with her, right? That's the joke. The truth is, and I've told this a couple of times, before I really knew what I wanted the podcast to be, I tried to do fighter interviews. And she agreed to come on my show and do an interview with me. And there were two people who I did interviews with before I decided that wasn't what I was doing. So Gillian sat down with me and listened to me ramble and ask really bad questions when she was trying to break into the UFC a long time ago. And I've just been forever grateful. And on top of the fact I've got a grappling base, I always love grappling based fighters. And so just have always been.
Have you reached out to her since?
You know what? One time I did reach out to her, but she's got like an agent now and stuff like that I don't think she ever saw it. So it's not like we stayed tight or anything like that. And frankly, man, I'm an old balding white man. I'm sure people have tagged her in some of the jokes that people have made, about me and her since then, that she might've got creeped out about me at one point or something like that. Doesn't realize it's a joke. So I worry about that sometimes. But no, so I haven't been able to reconnect with her. I would love to. It would be super cool to have her come back on the pod, full circle moment at some point. She's probably too big now. You know what I mean? I don't know that she'd be willing to, especially with how weird it was when it happened.
Because she will. Hey, you guys, everyone, how many live viewers? We got 350 in here.
At 380 now. Yeah.
Go on Gillian's last Instagram post and just type in "die hard." That's it. Just die hard.
Don't do that.
Comment, no context. Just die hard. Good luck. We'll see you at the top or something.
Do not with the meme I posted today of me with her and Sam Hughes, one under each arm. Not today, guys. Don't do it today.
This is the episode she needs to see.
Oh my Lord. See, and this is where doing all this shit in the public eye, man, you make a joke, you run with it, and then it burns you long term. I don't want Gillian to be creeped out by me. I know we're just joking. It's joking. We're kidding.
Listen, I heard Gillian's an alcoholic and she's been drinking all week. That's the rumor. So I don't know what's happening.
Oh God. Yeah, no, none of that. Stay clean, girl. Actually, and that's the thing. It's funny. You go back and listen to that interview I did with her. It's like nails on a chalkboard, because all she does is smoke, man. She hangs out, she fights, she smokes. That's it. So I was asking her all kinds of what I thought were creative questions. I'm like, so what do you like to do this? What's your favorite that? I don't really know, man. I just kind of stay home and smoke and train. What do you want to do with this? I train and then I'll smoke a bowl. And so what's your favorite? I don't really watch TV. I train and then I smoke. That was the whole thing. And I couldn't pivot. I couldn't figure out that none of my questions were going to work. I'm like dumbfounded, dead faced on camera that I was like, yeah, this isn't for me. I'm not going to be the next Ariel Helwani.
Yeah. So some people are not very interesting. That's why they become fighters. I will say, one person I appreciate as an interviewer is Santino, because when we have the fighters come on, he'll ask anything besides fighting. Actually, it pisses me off because I'm like, let's talk about fighting. Let's ask them. And he's like, no, it's way cooler not to. So, yeah, I don't know. You don't get a lot out of the fighters. I mean, we got some racism out of Tony Kelly, and that's about it.
Oh God, the Tony Kelly episode.
I love Tony Kelly. He's the best.
That was oh man, I can't say the same, but it was a fun episode. It was a fun episode, that's for sure. Oh my Lord. Yeah, see, I think I'd be a whole lot better at it now. Like I can think on my feet now. I've got several years behind a mic and a camera now that like I could roll with it. But back then I was like, what do I do?
Hey, remember when we first started, even from 4 or 5 years ago? I think we've done 5 now for us. Like how different it was you were 5 years ago versus how you are now.
Yeah.
Me especially. It was night and day. Please never go back to the archives.
It's crazy. Yeah. Never look back. Never go back. I went back to episode one time and was like, oh my God, like turn it off. Oh, anyway. All right. We buried the lead a little much here on the main event, you guys. So let's get into it. Main event of the evening. We've got Josh Emmett taking on Kevin Vallejos, one of the biggest bangers the UFC probably could have put on at this point. I know Josh Emmett's old. I know he's 41 years old and he looks like Father Christmas with that beard now, but this dude can crack. Like if you guys you need a reminder of the power that we're dealing with here. One of my favorite all-time UFC KOs.
And you see Mitchell took the center.
The way this man ices people when he connects is unreal. And I will never forget some of the back and forth wars that he's been in. Like the Shane Burgos fight was legendary. He makes guys like Lerone Murphy and Ilia Topuria still respect the power coming back at them. You know, those are the kinds of guys he goes to decision with because they got to be careful. He's always got that nuclear option, man. Youssef Zalal, though, in the last fight, I will say, Brandon, I'm super high on Zalal 2.0. I've been telling people this kid is serious since he came back to the UFC. I never thought he would take him down like a little baby and submit him in the first round. That was the craziest fight. I thought it was going to be competitive. I thought Youssef was going to have to go back to old school where he skated around the outside and like stayed away from his opponent and used his speed and his quickness. He was like, nah, just take him down, tap him out, no problem. It was like, what the hell? So that caught me off guard in a big way. But I don't think Kevin Vallejos is going to come in here and follow that game plan. Kevin Vallejos is a potential star in the UFC, 24 years old, 17-1. His claim to fame is still he's chasing Gene Silva, right? His Dana White's Contender Series fight was against none other than Fighting Nerd's Gene Silva, the only loss on his entire resume. And he's only been to 3 decisions, you guys. He's submitted 2 people and he's knocked out 12. This man is a finisher of the highest caliber. And now he's on a 3-fight win streak so far in the UFC, and he's just finding ways to win. His last win over Giga Chikadze was insane. Brandon, I thought he was done. Giga was landing massive kicks on him early in that fight, and I'm like, I don't care how tough you are. Nobody's body is taking that shit. Like 15 minutes of this, nobody's taking that. And he just kept coming forward, and he made something happen. I got another clip for you guys. Enjoy.
Duas mãos direita tocando, a última. Que pedrada! Soco rodado, cotovelada, é fim de linha!
What's up at the end? What's up? Like, this guy, he's so freaking smooth, man. I love Kevin Vallejos. He's super exciting. This fight should be a car crash, Brandon. I cannot wait. Vallejos, I think I'm saying that wrong. I'm very white with my tongue. I apologize. Minus 550, the favorite here over Josh Emmett. And I get it. He's the new hotness. He's young. Josh Emmett is 1-4 in his last 5 fights. But the guys he's losing to are legitimately the best of the best. Lerone Murphy, fighting in a number 1 contender slot. Ilia Topuria, the champion, moved up a weight class since. The champion again. Youssef Zalal, a guy who's probably going to be fighting for the title very soon. And then bottom of the barrel here, Yair Rodriguez, a guy that they made a fake belt for because they really wanted him to be champion, and he sucks, but still a very dangerous fighter in his own right. So he got caught by Yair. It happens. The best. That's all he's losing to. Now, I do think Kevin belongs in that category. I do think he will be in that category. But this is a very, very dangerous fight, especially for a guy who wants to walk forward, go power for power, force for force. And the amount of shots he ate from a guy like Giga, you don't really want to test that with a guy like Josh Emmett. So it's not an easy fight. I got to pick Vallejos. I do think he wins this thing, and I'm never doubting him ever again after the Giga Chikadze fight. Minus 550 is a lot, but he should win.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that last line was perfect. Minus 550 is a lot, but he should win. I totally agree. I think there's just, again, a big difference in the fighting styles, right? You think of Giga. Giga's a guy who's an amazing kickboxer. Just his shot selection is completely different. His body style is different. It's really hard for me to compare the Giga fight to the Emmett fight because Giga is very, his hands are low. He kind of knows what he wants. He's got certain counters, body kicks. And with a guy like that, you can't play it at range with him. You have to walk him down. You're going to eat some shots. You know what you're going to do, but then, Giga's got bad cardio. And if you start touching him, eventually you're going to get to him. But Emmett's completely different. I mean, he's just like he's like a bear trap, right? And you touch it and it just snaps on you. And that's completely different. So I think in this fight, Vallejos is going to have to approach it differently. I think he's going to have to throw a lot more feints. I think he's going to have to jab more, a lot more head movement. You're right. I think it's just too big of a price, but I think Vallejos has a great chin. He ate everything Silva had to offer and then some, and even took a round off Silva. I picked him in that fight. I thought that kid was good from the beginning. I've always thought this kid was super talented. This matchup just kind of sucks because Emmett's like, you can't really get close to him. You don't really want to put hands on him. There's not a lot you want to do to Emmett because that means you have to be close to him. So he's just a guy that's dangerous all the time for no reason. I would almost rather Vallejos fight a more skilled guy that was less dangerous, and I would be happier to choose him in the spot. I think Vallejos is going to win. The kid is a stud, but I do want to say one thing. The two worst social media accounts in the entire UFC are on this card. And number one is Hardwick, the worst social media. He is the worst by far. Number two, Vallejos. He's just too cheesy on Twitter. And I think the world of the kid, but somebody take away his Twitter account.
Man, that's how I built a platform being cheesy. Don't knock it. You 24 years old, let him have some fun.
It's better than his.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but man, he's just a kid, 24 years old. Honestly, though, we shouldn't worry too much about the durability. Seriously, taking shots from Gene Silva, who's knocking people out up at 155 pounds, and then being able to take shots, mule kicks from Giga Chikadze. Like, I don't think anybody's knocking this kid out. So, just kind of a matter of time. We'll see what he wants to do and how long Josh Emmett lasts in there, because it's going to be a banger, man. I can't wait for this.
The Silva-Vallejos rematch is going to be something.
It better be for a title, Brandon, because I got my 2025 Silva champion ticket right now in pocket. Like, get me the belt on Silva and then get me the Vallejos rematch. That's what's up.
That guy's one of the best fighters I've ever seen. I mean, he's so freaking good.
I can't wait. Guys, that is UFC Vegas 114. Thank you all very much for hanging out with us. We got over 400 of you live across all platforms right now. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Make sure you're checking out my guy here, Brandon Olivas. His Twitter account is in the description below. He does YouTube breakdowns as well. Him and Santino, the former coach of Fight Ready. Make sure you're checking out their channel as well. Brandon, I appreciate your time, my guy. If there's anything, sponsors, other stuff, you want to tell them where to find you and your content, shout out your girl, whatever. Floor's yours, my guy.
Yeah, I wanted to shout out my girl. So first, check out our YouTube channel. So Santino DeFranco on YouTube. We'll do the breakdown. I'm so tired tonight, so rescheduled for tomorrow, but it'll be up soon. We do them every week. Clint, we love you. I think you've had both of us on the show, so thanks so much. It's always good jumping on here. I'm sorry I couldn't jump on last week. My girlfriend was in town visiting America. I got 3 other podcasts in addition to mine to do, and I had to turn them all down. So shout out my girlfriend, Miri. I know she'll watch this tomorrow, and she's very mad I put in a little zin in my mouth. So I'll have to deal with that tomorrow. But other than that, yeah, thanks so much for having us on, or for having me on, and great time as always.
Absolutely. Love having you guys on. Appreciate you. And Santino, make sure you say what's up next time you guys are hanging out. And that'll do it for the show this week, you guys. Of course, we're going to have the total takedown, the undefeated post weigh-in show, Clint's hot props. All that's coming to you later in the week. So we've got lots of content here for you. Get subscribed if you're not already on here. And every single Monday, guys, daylight savings rolled. We are 7:30 p.m. Eastern now because I live in Arizona. The world moves. I don't. Y'all got to deal with it. So
hey, we just got a monsoon here. My house is about to fall over.
I know, right? It's starting to hit right now. So we better kill it before the power goes out. But thank you guys all so much for tuning in. Don't forget, we have the chat calling for your best 10-1 or higher shots. So after the show ends, jump in the comments section below, leave your long shots on here, and appreciate you guys. Absolutely love you, Alfonso. That's why you don't reply to my fanboy DMs.
Hey,
Alfonso, what am I missing?
Message me again. We'll link up.
I try to get back to everybody. If I missed you, Alfonso, it's not personal. I apologize. Good luck this week, everybody. Kick some ass. Stay safe. Be nice to everybody out there. There's a lot of people who are pissed off in the world right now. Be nice. Surround yourself with nice people. It's all love. And appreciate you guys, each and every one of you. Let's roll.